This, I think, John, is one of the most difficult times in participating in a Super Bowl. The long wait after you leave the locker room to get to the field to get on with the contest.
Well, you know, when you really think of it, Pat, it's been about 40 minutes since the warm-up. They would come out, warm up, and then go in, and then come back and have to stand out here.
At midfield to toss the commemorative coin are the 1989 Hall of Fame inductees Terry Bradshaw, Art Shell, Mel Blount, and Willie Wood. Joining them are the San Francisco and Denver team captains. The referee for today's game, Dick Jorgensen, will now conduct the coin toss ceremony.
San Francisco, you are the visiting team and will be calling the toss. This is the commemorative coin. This side is heads. This side is tails. This side is heads. This side is tails. Denver, who will be your spokesman? 54 will be the spokesman. Mr. Montana, would you please call the toss in the air? Willie Wood, will you represent your fellow inductees into the Hall of Fame and toss the coin? Go ahead and toss it, call it in the air. Tails is called. Heads it is. You will receive. Which goal will you defend that goal? Denver has won the toss. Will receive. Good luck, gentlemen.
So we'll see John Elway and the Denver offense first. That has to encourage them already.
You know, anytime in a big game, I always like to lose the coin toss and let my defense go out there and play first.
Let's get a quick comment from the sideline and Will McDonough.
Yeah, Pat, I think the big thing down here so far is San Francisco out here is trying to pull the psych job. They've been quiet, understated, as if to say to Denver, listen, we're the champions, and this is no big deal. Now let's go to Irv Cross on the Denver bench.
Well, Earl Leggett, the defensive line coach of the Broncos, gave me a little insight to their game plan. He said, today we're going to be aggressive. We're going to attack. The only way to beat Montana is to get him out of his 1-2-3 rhythm. We've had great practice this week, and we're ready to put the heat on him. Pat, John?
All right, Irv. We thank you both. You like to be on defense, huh, John?
I think so. I always think in a big game, you don't have to get your guys pumped up. They're usually too pumped up. So if you're playing with a pumped-up group, you'd rather have your kickoff team playing and your defense first. Because I'll tell you, John Elway is so pumped up, and he is so strong that he could throw a 20-yard pass. He could throw it 50 yards the first time he throws it.
Well, Carrington and Bell will be back deep for the Broncos. And Mike Kofer will kick it off for the 49ers. Very strong leg. And Super Bowl 24 about to get underway. I said earlier, John Madden and I have been here 10 days, and we're about as psyched up as anybody.
Dan Reeves was saying, I just can't wait to get this thing started. I think everyone feels that way.
Line drive, kickoff handled at the goal line by Bell. To about the 23, tripped up by Steve Hendrickson. 49ers will take over. I beg your pardon, the Broncos will start it. John Elway, the quarterback of whom John Madden was just speaking, 2-0 against the 49ers. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 23. Orson Mobley will be starting at tight end instead of Clarence Kay. Steve Sewell split wide to the left. That's a new wrinkle. Bobby Humphrey is the lone setback. Elway to throw it. And underthrew it. Intended for Mark Jackson. Let's look at the 49er defense. They start with a three-man front that changes from time to time. Hope, Michael Carter starting, and Kevin Fagan up front. Haley, Millen, Walter, and Turner, the linebackers. And in the secondary, Pollard, Griffin, Ronnie Lott, Chet Brooks, the two safeties, and Eric Wright and Tim McKyer when they go with the extra defensive back. Melvin Bratton in the backfield now, this time with Humphrey. 2nd and 10 from the 23. Fake to Humphrey. Elway misses again. And I think you said something quite correct in the beginning, John. He's so pumped up that those first two passes have been overthrown and just not close.
That's right, and eventually he'll get in some kind of rhythm in this game, but you hate to have to come out first and do it in a big game like this, and then your first two plays are passes, and that is a very tough thing to do.
Brings up 3rd and 10. Sewell in the shotgun formation with Elway. Haley forced Elway out of the pocket, and he was taken down by Pierce Hope. And the Broncos fail on their first possession, and they'll have to punt.
I think those were the things the 49ers wanted to do. Good defense the first time they get in the shotgun. Not only put pressure on Elway, but keep him contained.
Horan, left-footed punter, high to John Taylor. Fair catch. About the 34-yard line, the 49ers will take over from there as a scuffle broke out on the other side of the field. 40-yard kick. Here comes Joe Montana. And has he been spectacular of late? Almost perfection. In front of him, an offensive line of Bubba Paris, McIntyre, Sapolo, Bruce Colley, Harris Barton. The tight end is Brent Jones. The formidable backfield of Roger Craig and Tom Rathman, and the two magnificent wide receivers, Rice and Taylor. Rice on the move. Fake to Craig. Montana overthrows Brent Jones. Steve Atwater made the contact. Here's the defense for Denver. Carricker, Cragen, and Holmes up front. The linebackers Brooks, Dennison, Mecklenburg, and Fletcher. And a tough secondary, particularly the safeties of Atwater and Smith, with Braxton and Henderson, the cornerbacks. And when they need 6, it's Robbins and Corrington. Rathman is out and Terrence Flagler is in. That's Flagler in motion. To Craig. Roger Craig to midfield. Knocked out of bounds by Wyman Henderson. Rice with a good block.
The other guy that got a good block was a right tackle, Harris Barton. Again, that's his counter play. Watch number 79 pull out here. Right there. See 79? He's going to come and make the block right there on Mecklenburg, the first block. Then he gets another linebacker. Harris Barton formed that lane for Roger Craig.
That's artwork for an offensive lineman. Montana back to throw it. Incomplete. Intended for Roger Craig.
You know, the 49ers with Mike Holmgren, now they script only their first 15 plays. And then Mike Holmgren told us, and Joe Montana said, that in the first 5 specifically, they would like to get the ball to Jerry Rice. This is what, the 4th play coming up?
Right. 2nd and 10 from the Denver 49. Roger Craig. Maybe a couple stopped by Ron Holmes. Roger Craig had the flu, missed an entire day of practice earlier in the week, lost 9 pounds.
Hey, he went from 214 to 205. He was wearing a sweatsuit yesterday and was showing how baggy it was. It just hung on him like a sack. He said that maybe he'll be quicker. He feels strong, but I think the big test for Craig will be in the second half.
This will be a good test right here for the Denver secondary. 4 wide receivers for the 49ers. Screen pass, Craig. Stopped by Atwater, but it should be close to a first down. A pickup of 9 it is. First down, San Francisco.
Yeah, one of the things that had the Broncos so concerned was Roger Craig, but the first guy missing him. He said that they have looked at film, and Roger Craig makes the first tackler miss him more than any back they've seen. And then that's why they get so many big plays, because not only does Roger Craig do it, that's the same thing their ends do. Atwater is the linebacker in the Broncos nickel. He had Craig all the way, man-to-man.
And Craig just got away from it. First down, 49ers. Montana go to work again. Rice. Close to another 49er first down. Tyrone Braxton was the first man to hit him. 9-yard gain, call it.
See how many Broncos were on that tackle, though? That's one of the things that the Broncos want to do defensively. They know that Rice is going to catch some pass, and Craig is going to get his plays, and John Taylor. But the minute they catch a pass, they want to be there to knock it away or make the tackle. Don't let them take that little one and make a big one out of it.
2nd and 1. Jones in motion. The ball carrier hit behind the line of scrimmage and knocked backwards by Brooks and Carragher.
Mike Brooks is that strong side linebacker. Watch him. He is up here at the end there. Now he is going to come. He's coming on a blitz, so he starts. He gets penetration. Rathman misses a block. You don't see a lot of Rathman misses, but when he missed him, Michael Brooks was right there for the tackle and the loss.
That makes it 3rd and 4. Extra defensive backs in the game for Denver. Rice started in motion. Montana has to come out of it. And slides for another 49er first down at about the 22-yard line. A pickup of 10.
You know, anytime you give a quarterback a lane to run in for a first down, he has to take it. Watch this lane. We stop it right there. You see the big hole there. You look at this hole, the lane here. Now Montana knows if he can get to here, he has the first down. That's what happens when your pass rushers get out of their pass rush lanes.
1st and 10 at the 22. No score yet. Off way to Craig. To the 20. Simon Fletcher brought him down.
When the team gets to the 20-yard line, the 20-yard line in, that's called the red zone. Now the 49ers feel that the Broncos, one of the best things they do is play defense in this area. A lot of times they'll rush 3 and they'll drop 8 guys. So they figure that rather than passing in this zone, they think they can have more success running.
2nd and 8. Typical 49er drive. Montana looked to Rathman and hits Rice. Rice scores for San Francisco. Didn't take long.
Another one of those Joe Montana drives. Jerry Rice, a big play. And the thing, Denver did the thing they said they couldn't do. When they catch the ball, you got to tackle them. They didn't.
And one of their best tacklers is the one who hit Rice and bounced off. Atwater. Hofer for the extra point. Held and holding. And the 49ers take the early lead after a 10-play drive. San Francisco 7, Denver nothing.
You are looking live at Bud Bowl 2 as unbeaten Budweiser battles undefeated Bud Light in what's become known as the war.
Let's go down to the locker rooms.
You guys are the king. Now let's go turn out their lights.
We've waited all year for this. Let's go knock them on their butts.
A lot of emotion bottled up in there.
What about today's matchup?
Well, you got the big arm of Bud Light's Budway Joe versus Budweiser's explosive Beechwood backs, Billy Bud and Bobby Bud.
But the big question is how Bud Light will stop Bud's appliance of defiance, the freezer.
The cans are going wild.
And here comes the king of beer.
And the one light that outshines them all.
We'll be back with Bud Bowl 2
Right after this.
Hi, I'm Joe Montana, and I'm going to do something a little crazy. I'm going to challenge all those linebackers singing for Diet Coke, the tennis players, the game show hosts, the singers, any celebrity who's ever done a Diet Coke commercial to come on TV with me right here and take a blind taste test to prove once and for all which tastes better, Diet Coke or new Diet Pepsi. So come on, Miss Wimbledon, I'm serving. Come on, guys, take your best shot. But remember, this is the taste that beats Diet Coke.
Interesting letter. Guy writes, Dear Jay, don't you think it's a crime that football players get paid so much for doing what they enjoy? You know what I get for doing these commercials? I don't even have to get my head kicked in.
He seduced his children into becoming enemy agents.
I can help you make some real money.
Family of Spies begins next Sunday.
66 yards. Touchdown pass from Montana to Rice from 20 yards out. And they kept the ball 3 minutes and 59 seconds. Typical Joe Montana 49er drive, as John Madden said.
Yeah, Earl Liggett was there talking to the defense of the Broncos, and he's telling them that we have to get our hands up and take care of those pass rush lanes, because they didn't when Montana ran and picked up a first down. Then on the touchdown pass, no pass rush whatsoever.
Bell and Carrington back deep, and that's Carrington with the ball. Hit and knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line by Romanowski.
Let's watch a touchdown again, Pat, and we'll see Jerry Rice is here, and he's going to come right in here to the middle and uncover. Montana gets back. He tries to throw to the right, can't find anyone, and comes later to right. Watch him. He's even going to come on a little roll to the right. And then he looks and looks and looks, but look at the pass protection he has. Look at the time he can look over them. Then Rice uncovers. Now 1, 2 missed tackles.
And that you cannot do. Elway with a shovel pass up front to Humphrey. Bobby Humphrey almost broke it. Ronnie Lott finally tripped him up. A pickup of 28, playing with two-track ribs. But they didn't bother him then.
Bobby Humphrey has added so much to this Bronco offense. They've always been a passing team and a John Elway, but when they got Humphrey, they got a runner. They got a 1,000-yard runner. I'll tell you, the two guys that love him is one is Elway, because it takes some pressure off him, and the other one's the entire offensive line.
1st and 10. Same play, and they botch it. And the 49ers get it back. Now they say no. It's a forward pass. And it's just an incomplete pass.
You know, this stuff really isn't trickery. For most teams, you would call these trick plays. For the Broncos, this is part of their basic offense. It's just called a shovel pass. Here he shovels, Humphrey isn't looking, and the shovel hits him right in the back.
Shovel too quick.
Yeah, or Humphrey looked too late.
2nd and 10 from the San Francisco 47. Clarence Kay in the game now. Here's Humphrey again. Close to a Denver first down. Stopped by Chet Brooks and Keena Turner.
You know, I like what Humphrey is doing there. He's breaking through the hole. Now watch the pass protection here. They start to pass protect, make them rush, then that gives holes for a delay for the running game. See, when the defense is going to take off after Elway, then they can give that delay play or draw play to Bobby Humphrey. That's what he's been so effective on all year.
And he got another Bronco first down. Mosley moves out. Clarence K tight end. Humphrey again. Out of bounds. A gain of 6, stopped by Michael Walter and Chet Brooks again.
I think this is why the Broncos were so concerned about Kay being able to play. Watch him, number 88 here. You see how he can block Keener Turner. He just gets him knocked out. Kay was the guy who created that hole for Bobby Humphrey.
Elway was saying yesterday that this guy is the better blocker. Mobley perhaps the better receiver. 2nd and 4.
And I think if Humphrey's playing, you would rather have Kay in there.
Mobley in motion. Draw play. Humphrey again. Picked up 3, so that leaves about a yard short of another Bronco first down.
You know, the Broncos run about 75% of their plays are draw plays. I was talking to Bobby Humphrey, remember, in the locker room the other day, and he said that just about all of his plays in this Bronco offense are delay, draw, that type of thing. And with his quickness, that's a great play.
Jim Burt now in the middle of the 49er defensive line. Elway going for the first and got it.
I tell you, they did a good job there. That Keith Karts and Doug Waddell really take off. Watch the center here. The block, boom, boom. They get this going back, and then they can get the first down. Watch 72, Keith Karts, Doug Waddell. They get that pile going back. John Elway just gets in behind it.
Of course, Elway is a big, strong guy. Humphrey now is the lone setback again. The shovel pass again. Elway just bats it down. 3rd time they've run that play. Once it was great. Twice it was near disaster.
I know it, and that time he looked like he was going to shovel the ball to Haley. Watch him here. Watch 94. Haley comes in a rush. Watch the shovel here. He's trying to get it to Humphrey. Haley, like a basketball player, just knocks it out of there. Now, Elway says he wants that to be an incomplete pass. He just knocks it down.
So it's 2nd and 10 from the 49er 25. This is the old T formation. Look at this. Now Mobley comes out of here. Elway had to throw early in the direction of Mobley, but he was under severe pressure.
The thing about John Elway, you can give him severe pressure and he can still get the ball away. Because he's so quick to get the ball away and he's so big and strong that sometimes pass rushes just bounce right off him.
He's just 1 out of 6.
I don't think that he's gotten calmed down yet to play this game.
It surely doesn't look like it.
He has to let a little air out of himself.
In the direction of Mark Jackson, but the 49ers were all over. Don Griffin was the prime defender. With an assist from Tim McKyer.
You say that was not all Elway there. That was great defense by the 49ers.
Treadwell will attempt to kick the field goal for the Broncos. With Gary Kubiak holding, this will be 42 yards away. Far enough. And good enough. The Broncos dent the scoreboard. So it's 6:47 left to play in the first quarter. The 49ers 7, the Denver Broncos 3.
Every day, 22 million people come into McDonald's. They count on the same hot, fresh food at every McDonald's all over the world. But imagine if there were only one McDonald's you could count on. And 22 million people came in at the same time. The whole restaurant would fill up. The city would fill up. And all those people in one place would cause the Earth to tilt off its axis and go spinning into space. And that would make a real mess of everything. That's why we make every McDonald's from Poughkeepsie to Pomona just as good as every other McDonald's, thereby saving the universe.
Master locks are tough under fire.
49ers post-game report, Sunday after the Super Bowl.
The Crescent City of New Orleans is seen from the MetLife blimp for today's game. The pilots are Mike Fitzpatrick from Newport, Rhode Island, and Captain Corky Belanger from Mesquite, Texas. Too bad they can't see the game. Terrence Flagler back deep for the 49ers with Spencer Tillman. But it's going to be Flagler at the 4. Brought down by Tyrone Braxton. The story of the Broncos scoring drive, which was finished off with a 42-yard field goal by Treadwell. They kept it 10 plays, went 49 yards, and kept it 3 minutes and 19 seconds.
I think they were able to do that with John Elway just completing 1 out of 7, and that was a shovel pass. Again, Jim Burt, the story continues there. They just keep sewing that jersey tighter and tighter. Remember that short yardage play? He got double teamed. I'm sure he feels he was held.
He doesn't want to give him anything to grab.
He answered everything. Tighten the jersey.
Here's Montana flushed out of the pocket and chased out of bounds by Alfonso Carricker. No gain.
I think that's great Denver defense there. That's what they want to do, is they clamped on the short guy. There was no one for Montana to throw to. So then they scrambled out to the right. Now they have him. Let's just watch it here, and we'll see here. Once he starts to throw, you see that back foot hit. Now he wants to throw. And look at this Denver defense. They're all on a line here. He has nothing open. So now he had to hold the ball and go again.
2nd and 10 at the 18. Montana to Craig. Atwater up to fill the hole with Mark Munford as they knock him down.
There's a big key to this 49er defense. Ronnie Lott, kind of the soul of the defense, a real leader of everything. And as Ronnie Lott goes, that 49er, the defense goes. And he's usually the guy that sets the tempo. He hasn't set the tempo yet because Bobby Humphrey has made some pretty good runs.
And Bobby Humphrey, of course, was one of the big question marks heading into this. Rice and Taylor both come wide to the left. Flagler is the man in the backfield. 4 wide receiver setup. And Montana again chased out of the pocket. Gets rid of it. Incomplete.
Again, great Bronco defense, Pat, because they didn't let Montana throw to the first guy he wanted to. Watch what happens. He's going to go back here. Now watch, he wants to throw to his right. There's no one open, so he has to bring the ball down and then scramble out to his left and force that ball in there. Good pressure by Simon Fletcher.
Right. Back deep, Vance Johnson is number 82. And Barry Helton, who was a teammate of John Elway at the University of Colorado. A little bit off the side of his foot. Johnson gets up to about midfield, maybe the 48, stopped by Johnny Jackson and Keith DeLong. And so the Broncos will take it over in good shape. But the 49ers lead 7-3 with 5:25 left.
So I'm having this dream. I'm in a Turbo Z. And these guys are after me. But they can't catch me. So they get a car. But they can't catch me. So they get a plane. Just as they're about to catch me, the twin turbos kick in.
The Nissan I want is the, it was in those commercials. They drove it to South America, the Pathfinder. We'd load up the Pathfinder and, whoops, better get four-door, and go skiing every weekend. Or the Paris-Dakar Rally. We could be the first family to race from Paris to Africa. Quit our jobs, pull the kids out of school. Maybe not.
It's Valerie Harper letting it all hang out on Monday night.
I wasn't going to do it, but for you, Chuck, I will have sex with someone.
Fitting premieres Monday after Major Dad.
A little homework being done on the Denver sideline. The man holding the pen is Charlie Waters, who was, of course, an outstanding defensive back years ago with the, not too many years ago, as a matter of fact, with the Dallas Cowboys. First down, Denver, their own 48. Pat Summerall with John Madden, Super Bowl number 24. Two tight ends set up for Denver. Ratman comes in motion, and the handoff is to Humphrey. Ball's loose. 49ers have it. Recovered by Chet Brooks.
That's a big play for the 49ers here because the Broncos just scored on their last possession with the field goal. Had good field position here. That was one of the things I think they were worried with Bobby Humphrey. If he plays, will that extra protection on his ribs, will that cause him to fumble? Because when you put the ball up against that extra protection, you can't feel it against your body. I don't know that that's what caused it, but that is a concern coming into the game.
It certainly looked like the ball just slid out of there. This is Ratman to about the Bronco 40-yard line. Stopped by Mecklenburg. A gain of 14, a flag on the play.
Man, that's a big play by the officials there. That was a big play by the 49er defense. That went by the officials. Tom Rathman told me yesterday he loves to play in the Silverdome.
Holding, number 61, offense, 10 yards, still first down.
That's the first penalty of the game. It's against the center for the 49ers. Jesse Sapolu. Matt Millen. You know that's not a payphone.
Oh, Matt's telling him what they did on that play and what he did and where Humphrey ran.
Canada Rice. And they get most of it back. Knocked down by Dennis Smith.
Jerry Rice is almost a perfect athlete. I mean, just the way he runs and moves and catches and then runs after he catches, his toughness going inside, outside. Watch, the minute he catches that ball, he is continuing running. This guy is a threat on any play, any time. I think not only is he the best wide receiver in football today, but maybe one of the best, if not the best, that's ever played this game.
No, not much question about it. First down, 49ers.
You know, watching him practice, though, you know why he's so good. He practices at full speed all the time. I mean, the guy is just amazing. And watching he and Montana, remember we watched him on Thursday the other day in practice, Montana only threw one incomplete pass all day.
In the entire practice.
This is close to a perfect practice as I've ever seen.
Well, he was almost perfect against the Rams as well. That's Rathman over the right side. Stopped by Mecklenburg. Rick Dennison with the assist. Two-yard pickup by Rathman.
That's the offensive line there. You know, the offensive linemen always sit together, and they usually sit together in the same order that they line up next to each other. Keith Karts is number 72, the center there. He's had a great year and a great career.
Second down and 8 at the Denver 42. Craig in motion left. Out to Roger Craig. And Dennis Smith on the stop.
See, the Bronco defense is really doing what Wade Phillips wanted. Other than the touchdown to Jerry Rice where there was a couple of missed tackles, what the Broncos want to do is anytime a Roger Craig gets the ball or Jerry Rice or Tom Rathman, get a whole bunch of orange jerseys there on them. You know, not rely on one or two guys, but have 4, 5, and 6 guys tackle.
3rd and 2. To Craig. The old counter play. Close to a first down. We might have to measure. Greg Cragen led the Bronco defense.
The first time Craig ran that ball, that Barton got out there and made a wall for him, and he had a big gainer. That time the Bronco defense played it pretty well. I think that's going to bring up the 4th down.
It is.
This is a big decision here for George Seifert. You're in the Super Bowl. Your first year as a head coach. And as a head coach, you hate those things left, 4th downs and short. You got to make them. He's made his.
They're going after it. Fumble. And Denver has it. Atwater came up with it. Rathman got 4 yards.
You wonder if they're going to say he's down.
First down.
Oh. I'll tell you, they have fouled that up more than anything this year, that fumble thing. It used to be simple. If a guy fumbled, it was a fumble. Now they got it when it's down and when the whistle blew. Looked like he was down, but you don't know when the whistle blew. So what they're saying is that whistle blew before that ball came out anyway.
So it's a 49er first down. Ball's at the Denver 31. Fake to Craig by Montana. Looking at Taylor, incomplete. Jerry Rice also was in the area.
Yeah, that was good coverage. There's their teammate, Tony Dorsett, one of the all-time great running backs. Of course, he had that knee injury in training camp and had the surgery and has probably ended his career, but he had a great career for many years, of course, with the Dallas Cowboys and ending up with the Denver Broncos.
A minute and a half left in the first quarter with the 49ers leading 7-3. 2nd and 10. Montana out of the pocket. On the run. Incomplete. Intended for Taylor and batted away by Tyrone Braxton.
There's a fired-up cornerback, Tyrone Braxton. I think he was sick and tired of hearing all week about how bad the Bronco corners were and what Jerry Rice is going to do. Here, they have good pass protection to let Montana get out to this position. Braxton running all the way, staying with his receiver right at the end, reaching his right hand around and making that play on John Taylor. You know, these guys are pro athletes, and they have a lot of pride, too. And sometimes they just have to kind of take it for a while.
3rd down. Montana will throw it again. Quick to Rice. And Rice almost broke clean. Gets inside the 10. Stopped by Corrington. A pickup of 21 yards.
Looks like the 49ers game plan, Pat, is to work Jerry Rice early to the inside. Every pass he's caught has been in around the hash marks or in the middle of the field. Bobbles out a little bit. Again, is always thinking what to do after he catches the pass.
1st and goal from the 9 for the 49ers. Out of a couple of tacklers. Got it down to about the 7. Ron Holmes finally brought him down.
Boy, was there a collision in there. Tom Rathman making a lead block. What a collision. In fact, it could have been with Carl Mecklenburg, who was down.
There are a couple of Broncos down, as a matter of fact. That's Mecklenburg right there. 23 seconds remain.
We're back at Bud Bowl 2. It's been a crisp, cold first quarter.
And they're even calling for ice and snow.
Budweiser's ball on the Bud Light 48.
23!
Pitch to Billy Budd.
Whoa, it's a Beechwood rollout.
Flags everywhere.
We have illegal use of hands.
Hands? What hands? You give me a break.
At the end of a controversial first quarter, it's Bud Light 13, Budweiser 3.
We'll be back.
Your putt, Snoopy. Good grief.
Next weekend on CBS Sports.
Here's Carl Mecklenburg here. Bruce Colley is going to fire out here and miss and leg whip Mecklenburg right here. Watch your right guard. He fires out. Now watch him right there. He misses his block, and right there he turns and kicks, and he gets Mecklenburg right in the left leg. Here's another look at it from Mecklenburg's side. See him coming over to make the play, and right there he gets a leg whip.
Like it hit him right on the left knee.
All defensive players complain about the 49er offensive tactics of leg whipping.
2nd and goal from the 7. Scott Curtis has taken Mecklenburg's place. Montana. Brett Jones. 49er touchdown. touchdown pass of the day by Montana. First one to Rice, this one to Brent Jones.
Brent Jones is going to take that ball home with him. Hey, a big part of that success was Joe Montana's ability to run. That was a bootleg pass.
Hofer's extra point is not good. 13-3. Dan Reeves just saying to the referee, I want to see you.
But Montana is going to bootleg. You see, you fake the run to the left, and then you come out to the right. And I still think that no one runs to his right and throws the ball better than Joe Montana. Of course, and then Brent Jones, he's one of the things that has made this 49er offense a better offense this year because they use him more as a tight end. They throw more to John Taylor. They throw more to Tom Rathman. It's not just Jerry Rice anymore and Roger Craig. You have to worry about guys like Brent Jones.
He's the guy who's really come on, and that's the guy who came on a long time ago.
I think some of the things that he's done this year and over his career are just so amazing because he's doing the same things that 27 other quarterbacks in the league try to do, but he does it so much easier than the rest of them.
And I think a little bit quicker, too.
I think that's the whole. If there's one success or one key to the success of this 49er team, if there's one word, to me, it would be quick.
Even in practice, when we watched them during the week, everything seems to happen so fast. Hofer's kickoff goes to Bell at about the 6. To the 25. Knocked down by Spencer Tillman. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. San Francisco 13. The Broncos 3.
I'm on my way. Boise?
When your travel plans suddenly change,
You gotta help me. I checked my case to Boston, now they want me in Boise.
it's good to know Delta's got a team like Cumbus
Walt, I need a recheck fast.
to Price
Large sample case?
to Morris
Tag number 0479.
to Elders.
I got it.
Great job, Walt. No problem, Mr. DePrima.
Thanks.
Mr. DePrima, Mr. Michael DePrima, please call your office.
Walt? About that bag.
Special Super Bowl thank you to everyone who has made the National Football League United Way Public Service Series possible. Thanks for all those precious moments.
Ready, Johnny? Let's go right.
United Way. It brings out the best in all of us.
CBS Sports coverage of Super Bowl 24 is sponsored by Budweiser and Bud Light, who also bring you today's exciting Bud Bowl 2 matchup. McDonald's everywhere, even in Homer, Alaska. And by Nissan, built for the human race.
The Superdome in New Orleans. CBS Sports bringing you Super Bowl number 24. The 49ers scoring. Montana, 20-yard pass to Rice for a touchdown. Then the Broncos got a 42-yard field goal from Treadwell. And then the 49ers came right back with another Montana touchdown pass, 7 yards to the tight end, Brent Jones. Montana 7 out of 12, 2 touchdowns. Elway 1 out of 7.
There's a guy out there with a jacket and some equipment. I think they must be changing some equipment on the umpire or referee. They just had the guy come right out there in his jacket and start testing stuff.
Jerry Rice having some work done on his back in the background back there.
Well, you know, Jerry Rice, even when we watched him practice, he just continues to do stuff like this to stay loose. I think that he lost 15 pounds over a year ago, and he is so tightly wound and sprung that he always has to keep all that stuff stretched out.
Here's Elway, chased by Haley. Pass incomplete, almost intercepted. Intended to Mark Jackson. Michael Walter.
Yeah, they talk about that Elway cross, Pat, that John Elway throws that ball so hard that it'll put a cross on the receivers. It may put a cross on a defensive guy after a rebound. Michael Walter could have got that thing after it comes off the Bronco onto him. Half an Elway cross.
Second and 10. 13-3 San Francisco. Elway back again. Pressure again. Incomplete again. Clarence Kay was the intended receiver.
Hey, Elway has only completed one pass today, and that was that shovel pass. And part of it maybe is Elway, but a big part of it is this defense too. Look at Ronnie Lott. You worried about him, how his leg was going to be? All he told me yesterday was there's a football game. That means that he's going to be there and he's going to play the way Ronnie Lott always plays.
Here's Elway out of the shotgun again. Winder is in the game with Elway. Screen pass to Winder. And nothing there. Well, gain of 7, but not a first down.
I think the Broncos are a little frustrated here. You know, they know all about the frustration of not winning the Super Bowl and all that talk. Then they come in the game and they get down 13-3. I think that they have to keep their composure because you have to keep playing. You can't lose your composure.
John Taylor back deep. Signals fair catch again. And makes it about the 32. The 49ers up by 10 have dominated the clock as well. 13-3.
Gillette announces a razor so revolutionary it can sense the individual needs of your face. Introducing the extraordinary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Sensor twin blades are individually mounted on remarkably responsive springs. They continuously sense and automatically adjust to the individual curves and contours of your face.
And we know how to make the most of who you are.
The extraordinary Gillette Sensor. Closer, smoother, safer than ever before to give you the best shave a man can get.
Where the race is wrong, you're the champion. Gillette, the best a man can get.
New Gillette Sensor.
The best a man can get.
How to know where on earth your package is. Charlie Smith has a nose for tracking. He can spot a Federal Express package from Bangkok to the North Sea. He can tell you when your package clears customs in Tokyo or takes off for Sydney. You see, Federal Express tracks your package through computerized checkpoints. So Charlie Smith always knows where everything is.
Anyone see my glasses?
Federal Express.
Very funny.
The best way to ship it over here is now the best way to ship it over there.
You never know where history will unfold, but you always know where to turn. The CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. You always know when it's CBS News.
13-3 San Francisco in the second quarter with 14:22 left before the half. Pat Summerall here with John Madden. 49er ball at their own 31. Carl Mecklenburg back in on defense. for the Broncos. They put a brace on his leg, but he's back. Up the middle of Rathman. Near midfield. A gain of 18. Rathman stopped by Simon Fletcher.
Yeah, Tom Rathman came from Nebraska, where he was really a blocking type guy, never catches a pass, comes with the 49ers. Now they make a pass receiver out of him. This year during the season, he caught 73 passes. Most of them like this, those little check-through things where you find a hole in there, check through, and Montana just dumps it over the line to you.
Craig to the Denver 45. A gain of 6, stopped by Munford.
Yeah, you look at Roger Craig helmets there, and you see it says Husker on it. He and Rathman have the same thing. In fact, there's 3 of the 49ers that went to Nebraska. Jamie Williams, and of course Craig and Rathman. And at the front of their helmet there, it says Huskers.
2nd and 4. Here's the Husker. Craig again. First down, San Francisco. Steve Atwater brought Craig down. A gain of 9.
Isn't it funny how it always takes a bunch of guys to get Craig down, knowing they don't keep stats on that, but you wonder how many guys the first guy ever tackle him one-on-one. You know, it always looks like he'll make the first and second and third, and then you really don't get Craig down until you get about 5 or 6 guys there. See how he steps out of that tackle? He makes cuts, he's swiveling, he makes guys, and you don't get him until a whole bunch of orange jerseys are there.
Out of his socks again. Here's Montana out of the pocket. Incomplete. One of the rare times you'll see Montana go left and throw it.
Yeah, and you see what happened. He went left and threw it over Jerry Rice's head. There's Steve Wallace. Now he comes in and plays left tackle for Bubba Paris. Terry Tausch plays right guard for Bruce Colley. They play halves. You see, Bubba will play the first quarter and third quarter. Steve Wallace, number 74 now, plays the second and fourth quarter. They call it tag team tackle.
Same is true with Tausch. Bruce Colley. 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. And Montana's back to throw. Rathman. Another first down. Steve Atwater tripped him up. What a pickup of 12.
I tell you, if they don't get any better pass rush than this, then it's going to be a long day. They're going to set Super Bowl records throwing. Watch Joe Montana here. Now he's ready to throw when he pumps right here. Look at the protection he has. Here's the line. Here's Montana. And look how long he has to pump. He's back there looking. And they better get closer to him and start getting someone knocking him down, or this is going to be a long, long day for the Broncos.
First and 10, the 24. This is Craig again. Down to about the 16, stopped by Atwater. 8-yard gain.
Yeah, I think Roger Craig, he lost the 9 pounds this week. And he may run right out of his uniform. We know he got those socks off already. He doesn't have enough leg to hold up the socks. Looked like he could just run right out of the jersey and the pants could fall down. This guy is a player. I mean, he only knows one way to play. He practices that same way.
He really does. This is Flagler in motion this time. The handoff is to Rathman. Hit behind the line, but struggled up close to first down yardage. Michael Brooks made the initial hit.
There's Vance Johnson. Of course, he was a big receiver for the Broncos this year. He was saying the other day that he thinks he's as good as Jerry Rice, but so far he's not getting a chance to prove it. There's nothing more frustrating than to be an offensive player and have to sit on that bench for 15 and 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened to the Bronco offense. 49ers have been on the field most of the time. Third down. Craig breaks the tackle the 49er first down. Hit by Munford and Mecklenburg. Got 3 yards.
Roger Craig plays football the way it's supposed to be played. I mean, he not only plays it hard and he plays it quick and he plays it fast, but he plays it with a smile on his face. I mean, he is a guy who enjoys playing football.
There were some people early in the year who said he's taken too many hits as a running back, that he's lost a step. And he was incensed by those remarks, saying, "I've never felt better."
I would be incensed by those remarks.
Brought down Craig, this time by Cragen. No gain.
The 49ers just mix up things so well. I mean, they hit you to the right, they hit you to the left. Then they pass to Rice, then they pass to Taylor, then they pass to Rathman, then to Craig. There's just no way to stop any one guy on this team because they have so many offensive weapons.
And they seem like such a happy group, which is a tribute to their owner, Eddie DeBartolo. And to him, George Seibert, 2nd and 10. Craig again. Not much again. Henderson out of bounds.
This is the area when they get inside the 20 that the 49ers worry about passing in this area because the Broncos drop so many guys off. Used to be for years that once you'd get inside the 20, you never played a zone defense. And now more teams are playing zone, and it's tougher and tougher to find holes in those zones because you don't have the depth down here.
John Taylor. Wide left. Rice is to the right. To about the 2-yard line.
Tom Rathman was telling me yesterday, he said he loves to play in this place. He said he has his best games and his most physical games in this dome. Now, I have no idea how you can have your most physical games in anything that has a roof on it, but that's the way this guy feels, and that's the way he thinks.
Sticks are out, and he was that much short of getting the first down.
You know, it used to be that all the time that he would always look for Craig. Now he's looking more and more for Rathman. And if Rathman keeps making one-handed catches from behind like that, Montana's going to keep looking for him.
If he's wise, and he is.
This is another big call for George Seifert here.
4th and short. And they're going to go for it.
This is the second time they've gone. Last time they gave it to Rathman. What they do again?
Montana indicated that they got it. He had no question in his mind. 1st and goal, San Francisco. They lead it by 10 already. 8:14 left to play in the first half.
Watch the left side of that line take off, and they don't let the Broncos get any penetration. Then you have a big 235-pound fullback, and if the orange jerseys don't get penetration over the white, then Rathman's going to get a first down.
1st and goal, they need 2. That's great. Don't think so. Carricker made the stop.
Watch when that ball is snapped, how quickly everyone moves. Everyone moves at the same time. Good block there by Rathman. Cragen gets the penetration, 71, and he's the guy that didn't allow him to get in the end zone.
2nd and goal. Signaled yet. The officials haven't. Touchdown, yes. From a yard out by Rathman.
big game like this, Rathman and Craig, they're going to name a city after him in the state of Nebraska. That was all Montana this and Montana that, but this drive has been Rathman this and Craig that. The two Cornhuskers.
Kofer for the extra point. He missed the last one. That was perfect. So with 7:15 left to play in the first half at the Superdome, 49ers 20-3 over Denver.
Greatest show above Earth in 2 weeks. Not for the way it goes down easy. Not for the way I put the smile on your face. Not for the way I ran to the fixer. Not for the way it goes to show on you. Just one reason. Just one reason. Just for the taste of it. Diet Coke. Not for the way you mix the cool night velvet. Not for the way it won't fill you up. Not for the way it's gonna smooth you down. Not for the way it keeps you moving you on. Just one reason. Just one reason. Just one reason. Just one reason. Just for the taste of it. The real, real taste of it. Just for the taste of it. Diet Coke. Just one reason.
Since McDonald's said they'd offer a $1.09 McDLT if the 49ers win, or a 99-cent quarter pounder with cheese if the Broncos win, the rivalry's become so fierce here in Homer that I've been forced to call out the local militia. Unfortunately, he's ice fishing.
Okay. To keep peace in Homer, McDonald's will offer both a $1.09 McDLT and a 99-cent quarter pounder after the game, no matter who wins.
Thank you, McDonald's. Diet Coke for all you boys. Except you, Emmett.
A drive dominated by Rathman and Craig, the two running backs for the 49ers. In fact, they handled the ball in that drive 13 out of the 14 plays.
That's what you call a Nebraska drive. Rathman ran 3 times and had 3 receptions. Craig ran 7 times. So as you say, 13 of those 14 plays, the two old Cornhuskers.
Kofer's kick. To Carrington. At the 1. To the 20. Romanowski again down on the special teams, leads the charge. And the Broncos take over. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 21. 49ers have had the ball 17 minutes and 43 seconds to 5:02 for Denver.
I'm using this other long-distance company. Try to call Phoenix, I misdialed Fiji. I call the operator. She says she can't give me instant credit. I say AT&T always did. She says, you're not dealing with AT&T.
If you miss dealing with AT&T, it's easier than ever to come back. Just call 1-800-235-6000 right now, and we'll switch you back for free.
They kept saying how much money I'd save. Then I get the first bill? I'm not kidding. I thought it was a typo. I mean, where were the big savings?
People who thought they could do better than AT&T are coming back for the real value. You can too. It's simple. Just call now and come back for free.
Takes longer getting through, but I'm saving a ton, right? Wrong.
You gotta read the fine print. I couldn't believe it.
You're not dealing with AT&T.
Oh, I am now.
1-800-235-6000 for dependable, crystal clear AT&T long-distance service. Call now and we'll switch you for free. You couldn't pick a better time to come back.
Gillette announces a razor that can sense the individual needs of your face. Introducing the extraordinary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Sensor blades are mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and adjust to your face for the best shave a man can get. Closer, smoother, safer. New Gillette Sensor.
49ers post-game report, Sunday after the Super Bowl.
Pro football's getting to be a game of coordinators. Here's the offensive coordinator, Mike Holmgren of the 49ers. He makes a good call. They score a touchdown. Look, they get fives up in the press box now for the coaches.
A lot of rumors about him perhaps being a head coach very shortly.
And there's talk about the New York Jets and the Phoenix Cardinals. I think he would make a very good head coach.
Matt Millen and knocked Bobby Humphrey back for a 3-yard loss.
Matt Millen was fired up yesterday. He says that he knows how to attack. He said a guard pulls, boom, I hit that hole and attack it. I don't know that anyone attacks it like Matt Millen or celebrates. He was showing me his shoes. He said he played here in Super Bowl 15 in this stadium against the Philadelphia Eagles, and he said he wore the same shoes. He brought out those shoes. He said they worked good in Super Bowl 15. He said, I think they're going to work good in Super Bowl 24.
Well, so far, they really are.
Working good.
Second and 13. Elway dropping to Humphrey. Not much. It'll bring up 3rd and 11. Kevin Fagan made the stop with an assist from Millen.
Yeah, we were out here in the practice field yesterday. I was talking to Matt Millen. They had all these tractors and floats out here, and he said, he looked at those tractors and he said, geez, look at all those great-looking tractors. He said it's too bad they have to ruin them by pulling floats behind them. Never seen a linebacker that ever liked to float anyway behind a tractor.
Plus,
either like the tractor or the float.
He looks like he could operate the tractor. Elway through the hands of Mark Jackson, incomplete. That one was there, but he throws the ball so hard.
Yeah, but he had everything here. He has good pass protection. He has a good pocket. See the pocket there where he can step up, find his receiver, and then still step up and throw. That's excellent pass protection. As you say, you got to catch those. You have to catch those. Ronnie Lott came up and gave him a forearm in the head to remind him he was going to be there.
Again, it's John Taylor chasing the punt. Goes out of bounds close to midfield, and the 49ers will operate one more time with good field position. 30-yard punt. 49ers leading Denver 20-3 with 5:27 left in the first half.
We'll give you 80,000 people and 8 million miles a week. We'll give you hearts that beat deep purple and a whole new way to speak. We'll give you hands across the borders, big cities, little towns, where the human race is running. We'll be found. We're the best way to ship it over there. Run express, from the dawn through the night, we're in the air. Express, we carry confidence across the continent. We're the best way to ship it over there. We carry dreams and plans to our continent. We're the best way to ship it over there.
We're back, and the war is heating up.
But boy, Joe has that defense confused. This but's for you.
He's got a beer open. Oh, what a grab. Oh, what a move. He faked him out of his label. Touchdown.
They're whipping our bodies. Stop on the bus till you see the light. Bud Light.
At the end of the half, it's Bud Light 20, Budweiser 13. We'll be back.
It's getting colder. 500 miles of the hottest wheels on earth. Fasten your seatbelts when CBS Sports puts you behind the wheel in the Daytona 500.
5:27 left to play in the first half from the Superdome. 49ers leading Denver 20-3. Pat Summerall to John Madden. Here the scoring drive. 10 plays, 10 plays, 14 plays. The last one featuring Rathman and Craig, the first two mostly Montana. He's 10 out of 16 for 131 yards. To Craig. Maybe a yard. Tyrone Braxton and Dennis Smith up to stop.
You know, one thing the Broncos didn't do early, they didn't pressure Montana, so he was able to get those first couple touchdowns. Now they can go to their running game already. Look, they've only sacked him once, but that was one time when Montana ran out of bounds. They've only made him hurry twice, you know, throw when he didn't want to. But more important than that, they have yet to knock him down. And I think that if you are going to have any success against Joe Montana, you got to knock him down yet. The Broncos haven't knocked him down yet today.
They're going to show him a 5-man rush right here, although one of the up linemen backs out of there. Craig is really hit by Dennis Smith. He has a reputation of being one of the toughest of the safety men. In fact, both of the Broncos safety men do that.
Here's something. Watch Dennis Smith, 49. He's getting back in his zone, reading. Then he sees the ball thrown, and he's going to come out. The first guy holds him up a little here. Watch, the first guy Braxton kind of has him held up. Craig was in the middle of a spin, and Dennis Smith just unloaded on him.
3rd and 9, midfield. Pass hit by Braxton and Atwater.
I think Braxton, these guys are getting fired up a little too late. I mean, I know that they have to do it, but the 49ers just did surgery on this Bronco defense in this first half.
Vance Johnson back deep. Barry Helton will be the punter.
I don't think the Broncos have enough guys out there in punt return.
Great. Good job of coverage by Bill Romanowski. One more time. 3rd time he's made the tackle on special teams.
That was a good move by the 49ers. They didn't huddle. They just rushed their punt team out and both punted the ball, and Denver really wasn't out there and organized when they got that punt off.
And again, they'll start deep in their own territory at the 16. Summarizing the scoring again. Montana to Rice. Then a field goal by Treadwell made it 7-3. Montana to Jones, 13-3. And then Rathman on a 1-yard run made it what it is now, 20-3. Elway dumps it out to Humphrey. To the 20. Chased and stopped by Michael Carter.
Hey, let's watch Michael Carter here. Here's a guy who's so strong. Watch him here. He's going to start in the pass. He's always going to get double teamed. Boom, he stays to center, comes off the guard, starts pushing Waddell right back into the quarterback. Now he sees the ball thrown. Boom, turns, runs right down the line where the guy's going to be and gets a hit on Bobby Humphrey. Michael Carter hasn't been healthy all year, but when he is, he's the best nose tackle in the game.
2nd and 6. Elway to throw it. To Kay. Gain of 6. Matt Millen made the stop.
I don't know that Kay caught that pass. It may be the first one, but watch what happens when you're as good as Michael Carter and your arms are that big. When you go to jump, they're going to cut you. Watch, you go to try and get your hands up. They don't go up with you. You go up, they go down. Wow, they go and they just block you right in your toes.
First down, Denver. I think they had to put an extension in Michael Carter's jersey. He is big and strong.
I mean, those big arms and pads, and he gets those hands on you and gets those legs moving. You're going to go backwards, even if you're as big as a guy like Keith Carts.
Elway to throw it again. Gets it to Johnson. Johnson worked his way out to about the 34-yard line. Pete Kugler and Don Griffin made the stop. 2 minutes left in the first half, with the 49ers dominating the Broncos by the score of 20-3.
You know, it happened right here 20 years ago.
Right here, Mom?
Mm-hmm. You just can't imagine what it felt like.
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to see the world around me. The feeling you get from a Coca-Cola classic. Can't think of bigger than is the world to see. Very again from a Coca-Cola classic. I'd like to buy the world to come. Can't be the real thing. Can't top it, no, you can't stop it. It's on the whole world singing. Can't be the feeling. It's the real thing. Can't be the real thing.
Back at Super Bowl number 24, with the 49ers leading the Broncos by 17 points. MetLife blimp hovering overhead, giving us those wonderful shots of the Crescent City.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, if they really wanted to do something, they ought to come in the dome. I mean, they can stay outside and give you pictures like this. But if this thing were really something, they'd just fly the blimp in the dome and then give you the shots of the football.
I'm not really sure there's an entrance that would accommodate them.
They just blast in. Look at this, Montana, 12 out of 18, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, Elway, 5 out of 14 for 52 yards, but one of those was a sprain, one was a shovel pass, and he's just starting to get going now. In fact, that one to Vance Johnson was the first reception to a wide receiver.
Second quarter has not been good to the Broncos. So far, the entire game has not been good to the Broncos. Second down, 2. Elway intended for Vance Johnson, and he just missed him.
I think the other thing is the ball really wasn't in a good position. It kind of had to come under and kind of bounced out there. Yeah, I just feel that Elway hasn't gotten started yet. Now, part of that is they haven't gotten enough first downs to get anything going. And then on the other side of it, the 49ers have had the ball so much of the time that they haven't, you know, he's been cold all the time.
3rd and 2. Has the pass knocked away. Intended for Jackson. The defender was Don Griffin. Good play. McKyer knocked it down. I beg your pardon.
You don't want to make too many great plays if you're a defensive back for the 49ers. Tim McKyer makes this one, and after he makes the play, about 5 guys hit him in the head. And the last one was Jim Byrd. He was over there, and he gave him a shot and almost knocked his neck back.
Taylor back. Field to punt. Ooh, we got a good block. And goes down at about out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. Harry Sidney was the guy who got the first block.
And they just activated Harry Sidney. He's number 24, coming off a broken arm. Boy, that is one that loosens up the sinuses. Yeah. And that is also the one that breaks John Taylor loose.
That will trouble your eyesight, a hit like that.
Harry Sidney, of course, has always been a leader on this 49er special team.
Montana has got some kind of a bandage on his right elbow. It wasn't there earlier. Gets it out to Rathman. Stopped by Simon Fletcher.
You know, over the years, Montana has had problems with his elbow. And I think that's just a protective pad there that you get just when you hit the ground. I know he did wear that against the Rams a little, too.
Montana comes out on the scramble. And first down yardage. Stopped by Henderson. And timeout San Francisco.
This is the area, this 2-minute drill where Montana's as good as anyone.
Well, the 49ers have 2 remaining timeouts, that is.
Teddy Donaldson was one of my best friends.
I don't believe I can stand it another 4 years. Well, I've insured 2 generations. Doug has insured the next generation.
It's the kind of family you want to do business with.
He married, I think, probably better than his wife did.
After 40 years as friends and neighbors, a second generation of Donaldsons is insuring a third generation of McCormick's through New York Life.
I guess you'd say we help pull each other's wagon when we can.
New York Life, the company you keep.
The 49ers lead it 20-3. And they've been successful in situations like this. In fact, extremely so.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we went to practice. We watched the 49ers on Thursday, then we watched them yesterday. They practiced this both days, and it looks like the part of football that Joe Montana enjoys the most. I mean, I think that he is always a competitor. I think he becomes a bigger competitor in these situations. Of course, I don't know when the score's 20-3.
Right. Well, you'd like to get more, of course.
So if they get one here, we're en route to a blowout.
1:05 left in the first half. 3rd and short. 3rd and about a yard. Rice, wide right. Four-yard pickup gives the 49ers a first down. A tackle by Holmes. No huddle. Ready to go. Montana. To Wesley Walls. One of their 3 tight ends. Munford made the stop. 49ers call a timeout with 40 seconds remaining. So they're down to 1 now.
There's no better example of people helping people, what I call a point of light, than NFL Charities and the man who started it all, former Commissioner Pete Rozelle. Pete, to you, for your 29 years of service, and to NFL Charities for your fight against drugs, and for the millions you've raised for groups like the United Way, please accept this special commendation.
Thank you, Mr. President. For me and for NFL, I'm deeply honored.
Coming up at halftime, Brent Musburger will be with Terry Bradshaw and the Chicago Bears head coach Mike Ditka. And we'll have the Super Bowl 24 halftime spectacular featuring the Peanuts. That's all coming up at the halftime. 2nd and 1.
Can't beat a good peanut show.
You have to watch that. Montana going up top to Rice. Touchdown. From 38 yards away. Rice's 2nd touchdown of the day. Montana's 3rd touchdown pass. Topher for the extra point.
That was a play that the 49ers set up because they took the time out. They went over to the sideline, and they talked about getting Jerry Rice up the middle. There's one coverage that the Broncos use. It's this 2 deep where they have the safety come over and the corner come up. And they thought that they could get Jerry Rice or John Taylor or Brent Jones down the middle on him. That's the play that Mike Holmgren was talking about. in that area, when they give us that type of coverage, we can get a post in there. Now you see the coverage I'm talking about. The corner comes up, the safety comes over, the corner comes up, the safety comes over, and look at this middle here. That's the area that they're going to try and hit. You see how deep those safeties are and how far over to the sides? And once Jerry Rice, right there, see the big middle they have? They can't get anyone in there.
And, of course, it helps, too, John, that the pass was perfect.
You know, and Mike Holmgren was saying, I don't know that we're going to get that coverage. I don't expect that we will, especially with Jerry Rice there. But if they do, that's the one we're going for.
Well, you have to give him credit for spotting it, as well as Montana.
And then Jerry Rice for running it. In fact, they're not even up there. That's an empty press box. When you are up there calling offenses and defenses and you're ahead 27-3, you can start eating hot dogs earlier than the rest.
Elvin Bratton fielded the short kickoff. And with 28 seconds to play in the first half, the Broncos will have a couple of shots. What do you say if you're Dan Reeves when you go in for the half?
Well, you know, they're down 27-3, but they haven't even gotten started yet. I would think it's the type of thing that you just, on offense, say we have to get something started. I mean, we haven't, John Elway hasn't gotten out of the pregame warm-up yet. The receivers aren't getting open. I think they have to go to a formation like this and just air it out the whole second half.
Almost every play. Elway to Jackson. Incomplete. Broken up by Eric Wright.
They get some of that and hope that they don't get coverage like this. They get guys open. You know, had he thrown that a little deeper, Jackson may have had a step on Eric Wright. This is not a half of football that John Elway is going to want to remember.
He's 5 out of 17 for 52 yards. The 49ers lead it 27-3. On the other side, Montana's 15 out of 21. 3 touchdowns. Elway. Steve Sewell. First down for Denver. Stopped by Romanowski. 12 seconds to go as the Broncos take a timeout.
I'm bored. The rumors are true. I can't keep pouring it on year after year. It's enough already. I'm leaving, all right? I won't play this game anymore. You know why? I've discovered it's time to change my serve.
Discover the 1-calorie real cola taste worth leaving Pepsi for.
Just for the taste of it. Goodbye, Pepsi. You think you're in, I say you're out. Diet Coke.
12 seconds remain in the first half. At the Superdome in New Orleans, number 24. And so far, it's been just about what was predicted. Elway back to throw it again. Sideline over Michael Young and out of bounds. 6 seconds left.
Hey, the San Francisco 49ers have played this first half on a different level than the Denver Broncos have.
Been a clinic.
It has. I mean, offensively, they've done everything they wanted to do. Defensively, they haven't given John Elway or his receivers a sniff.
Elway out of the shotgun this time. I imagine he'll spend a lot of time in the shotgun. But he has time. Out of bounds. And that's enough of a scramble to have them headed for the locker room. That's the end of the first half with the score. The 49ers 27, the Broncos 3.
CBS Sports coverage of Super Bowl 24 is sponsored by Diet Coke. Your going to drink it just for the taste of it. Diet Coke. Federal Express, the best way to ship it over there. And by AT&T, the right choice.
You know, today car prices are like a yo-yo. Up one day, down the next. And maybe it's our fault. Chrysler invented the rebate, and the car business hasn't been the same since. Even I'm a little confused. That's why we introduced the guaranteed rebate. If our rebate goes up during this model year, we'll pay you the difference. And you must like it. Chrysler's having the biggest January in its history. So we're extending the guaranteed rebate until February 28th on every car, pickup, and Jeep we build. And on top of that, we'll pay you $50 to test drive our products against anybody else's. Whether you buy ours or theirs, you win either way. But you know, rebates, guarantees, test drives aside, maybe the best thing I've ever done for you is put a driver's side airbag in every car we build in the U.S. Now, that's a difference you can live with, and so can I.
Welcome to First Interstate Bank territory. The biggest bank territory there is. Because only First Interstate can help you with your banking needs in more cities and states than any other bank system. So whether you're in your hometown or traveling out of town, First Interstate Bank is always ready to help you. So come to First Interstate Bank. We go the extra mile for you.
I want to sell top secrets.
First, he sold out his country.
It's a straight business deal. You want it or not.
Then he sold out his family.
You're a spy for the Russians.
One member at a time.
There won't be anybody saying anything about spying to anyone, will there?
He bullied his wife.
You need to drink, don't you, babe?
And seduced his children.
Like a mafia family, like in The Godfather.
Into betraying their country.
Did your father recruit you in his espionage operation?
Yes, he did.
Do you have reason to believe your son, Michael Walker, is involved in espionage?
The incredible true story of the man behind the most damaging spy ring in our nation's history.
Is Michael working for you or not?
A major television event spanning 2 unforgettable nights.
The minute you quit, you're more valuable to him dead.
I'd like the number of the FBI.
So you make sure you get him alive.
Powers Booth. Leslie Ann Warren. Family of Spies, beginning next Sunday.
I think the music wound down some time ago on the Denver Broncos, 27-3, and what a spectacular role by the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs. This was their margin at halftime against Minnesota. Against Los Angeles, it was 21-3, and now they are closing in on back-to-back Super Bowl championships. And joining me at halftime, the head coach of the Chicago Bears, Mike Ditka, and Terry Bradshaw, one of our analysts.
Well, I just say it. Just say what you were saying.
I guess what you're trying to say is so much for my job as a prognosticator, but I'm telling you this. Say it. It's not over till it's over. How about that cliche?
That's terrible. That's the worst.
Let's take a look, though, at how the 49ers fashioned this margin, and I tell you, they make it look so easy, don't they? Mike, what about this TD pass?
Well, the first TD pass, what he's trying to do, he's trying to go one way. They took it away from him. Rice kept working over the middle. Atwater did a terrible job of trying to tackle, and that's what happens.
Yeah, you know, Terry, and the coach, John Madden, he was making a point over there that you shut down a Rice or you stop a running back, and up comes a Brent Jones, a tight end, and he got another touchdown pass from Montana.
Well, the one thing you have to understand, the 5 receivers for the 49ers all caught over 50 passes. And one thing, Jones, the little play action misdirection with the option with Montana outside to run or throw. But who do you double? Who do you triple? How do you do it? And with 5 people that with that kind of power, it makes it very difficult for a defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips.
Hey, Terry, I know what a lot of football fans are thinking, even Mike. How would your great Pittsburgh Steelers team have made out against these 49ers?
Well, that's not fair.
What do you mean it's not fair?
Okay, all right. I want the truth. Our best Steeler team we'd beat this team. Our defense was awesome, and we would play them. And we would play them as like they've never seen before. And we ran the ball 60 and threw it 40, but when we threw it, we attacked safeties. The Broncos in the first half tried to go deep. They've given up. Now they've come back short, but their real weapons are deep, and the 49ers are taking them away. But we would be a team that would really, with our balance, we could beat this 49er team. What are you smiling about?
Well, I tell you what, I was a part of that era. I saw the great Pittsburgh teams. I have a tendency to think that Pittsburgh's defense was as good a football team as I've ever seen. Now, their offense was also good, but I mean, they're complementing each other so well. It would have been a great game.
Mike, we want to show a drop pass by the Broncos in the first half. Now, is it because Elway's throwing the ball too hard, or the receiver's not concentrating? What's going on?
Well, that's a cop-out. He doesn't. No quarterback throws the ball too hard. If you're a receiver, catch the ball. If he throws it soft, you catch it. He throws it hard, you catch it. They haven't had this problem all year or for the rest of his career. I think what's happening there, there's a little footsteps being heard. I think Mr. Lott has left his calling card on the doorstep, and a few people remember if they catch it, they're going to take the thump.
Terry, you had a couple of great wide receivers, really, in Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. Jerry Rice, which one does he remind you of? How does he compare with the two?
Well, Rice doesn't have the leaping ability of a Swann, and then the other guy, Stallworth, has the competitive speed that a Jerry Rice has. People don't realize how fast Stallworth was. Both Swann and Stallworth very fast. The two of them complement. They mix a little bit of Rice in all of them. But the thing that neither one of them, I think, had, and I certainly know they're watching, but Rice is strong. And he's able to hit, bounce off, and go 70 yards. And my guys were beautiful route runners. Beautiful route runners, very smart, and use their hands well. But here's the little pump, a little action, and you're trying to stop Rice. You work on it. You talk about it all week long. We're going to stop him, double team him. And what has he caught in the first half? I think it's 2 touchdown passes.
But still, that's a double zone right there. That safety's got to be in better position than that. And I'm not picking on the safety. I'm just telling you, if you're playing double zone, he's played a bad double zone right there.
Pumped left, though. Rice came to the left side, so the off safety wasn't paying any attention.
Well, he could pump to the other guy all day long. You better be looking at Rice.
Now, we're going to come back and hear from our two experts on what the Broncos might be able to do in the second half, but we've also got a big halftime spectacular coming your way right after these messages from your local stations.
In their new CBS series, Grand Slam, these guys do everything together.
Oh, we don't do everything together, but we're partners.
We are not.
Can you describe him?
Black.
Blonde.
We're a couple of tough guys.
I'm just trying to get this thing fixed. Big-time bounty hunter.
Now, even though we do carry guns,
We're not the Heat.
but we do like it hot.
Grand Slam premieres tonight, so stick around.
And now, the dream is a reality. Where the pros are stars and the stars play like pros. The AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. The greatest show above earth. The NBA All-Star Game. 500 miles of NASCAR's hottest wheels. The Daytona 500. All this year, experience CBS Sports 90. The dream season.
This is CBS.
Am I missing something? Buy your own phone system, here's what you get. It breaks, you have to fix it. Outgrow it, you have to replace it. But here's what you get with Pacific Bell Centrex. The whole system's at Pacific Bell, not at your office. They maintain it 24 hours every day. All you do is call Pacific Bell and say, plug me in. Pacific Bell. We're making things easier.
In a world that's put such a premium on time, it may seem shocking that these craftsmen have devoted so much time to the leisure of just 2 people. But if you're one of them, you'll discover not a moment has been wasted. Announcing America's premium handcrafted car, the Riata by Buick. Handcrafted luxury for 2.
49ers post-game report, Sunday after the Super Bowl.
Well, it's hard to believe, but it's true. Charlie Brown is 40 years old. Creator Charles Schultz first put pen to paper way back in 1950, coming up with the Peanuts gang. Charlie, Lucy, Linus, Schroeder, and the world's most beloved beagle, Snoopy. Super Bowl 24 dedicates its halftime spectacular in a real New Orleans-style celebration to the comic strip characters we love.
Look at this! We're invited to celebrate our 40th birthday at the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're off to New Orleans.
Despy and Miziger Productions, in association with the National Football League, salutes 40 years of happiness.
Wow! What a great birthday party! Okay, everybody, let the good times roll!
He moved out where the bayou flow, and now he's got a diggy diggy low. Hey, diggy diggy low, diggy diggy low, and everyone knew he was her beau. Nobody else could ever show so much love for diggy diggy low. a beautiful, beautiful river. Gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God.
The Soul Queen of New Orleans, Irma Thomas.
Oh, the river slowly raging, and the water deep and wide, and the wind is swiftly blowing. I'm gonna get to the other side. Throw the clouds around me, there is darkness in the night. See the thunder and the lightning flashing in the sky. Fear is all around me, and there's no way I can hide. Till we gather on the other side. Shall we gather? Oh, shall we gather? Oh, shall we gather? Gather on the other side. Oh, shall we gather? Oh, shall we gather? Gather on the other side.
A National Historical Landmark celebrating 100 years of Mississippi River cruising, the Steamboat Delta Queen. Mr. New Orleans, Pete Fountain.
A spectacular show from the Louisiana Superdome, and we will continue right after these messages from your local stations.
The world isn't getting smaller. It's getting closer. Now more than ever, turn to the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. You always know when it's CBS News.
This is CBS.
Sunny skies and 0 chance of rain through Sunday.
Good news. There's no snow in our forecast today.
Mercedes-Benz introduces Formatic. Outwitting the weather and the road with the most advanced all-wheel drive system ever put in a car. Formatic. It may just obsolete other all-wheel drive systems. Not to mention weather forecasts.
Introducing a better way to call the UK.
When I call London, I can just hear Big Ben tolling. But when I get my AT&T bill, I feel like my bell has been rung.
Introducing MCI's new Call Europe plan. Now call Western Europe for just 59 cents a minute and start saving with MCI's lowest rates ever.
Big Ben, little prices.
Call now and ask for MCI's new Call Europe plan.
We'd like to introduce you to an airline. It flies to more cities around the world than any other U.S. airline. Its pilots are so well trained, they train pilots from other airlines. Its transatlantic fleet is among the youngest in the air, and its frequent traveler program is the richest in the world. Pan Am, we're flying better than ever.
49ers post-game report, Sunday after the Super Bowl.
Well, the Super Bowl is fast becoming Joe Montana's personal showcase. 3 touchdown passes he threw here in the first half. And as a result, the 49ers lead it easily, 27-3. He has hit Jerry Rice for 2 of those touchdowns in this game, and tight end Brent Jones with the 3rd. This capped off the Niners' first drive. Steve Atwater, the rookie safety, hitting Rice up high. He ricocheted off on into the end zone, and this confirmed the worst fears of the Bronco coaching staff. Then John Elway's shovel pass batted back. He took an interception. It was his 3rd shovel pass of that series. And finally, Montana, who was 15 of 21 for 189 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's having a spectacular playoff now in 3 games, 9 touchdown passes, and not a single interception. Okay, Mike and Terry, let's look ahead to the second half. You're looking at me like you look at me.
I am. I'm looking at you because I wonder what you're talking about.
What exactly do you think the Broncos...
They won't quit, but, you know, like Terry said, it's going to be awfully tough. I just would hope that they would stay with some of the things that they had planned earlier in the week when they went into the game, try to stay with them, make them work, maybe get John outside of the pocket a little bit. The running game is out the window, but the defense has to stop them somewhere along the way. And like Terry said, if they put Steve Young in, maybe they'll stop them.
Terry, you had some ideas.
2 things got to happen. I believe, number 1, the Broncos have to take the ball and have to establish the deep passing lanes early and score quickly with the deep pass. Then, number 2, they have to come out and get a turnover and then capitalize them. Now, all of a sudden, momentum has built back up, and then they believe, hey, now this is what we thought we could do. They have no confidence right now. Try this. 0. No confidence. They say, we don't have a prayer. Now they're only working on hope, and hope doesn't win games.
Now, what would Mike Ditka do inside? You know, we know your ferocious temper. We have seen it on the sideline. In a Super Bowl game, you're really getting whipped. Would you have turned it loose on him? What would you do?
Well, you mean inside?
Yeah, if you were the Bronco.
No, I don't think Dan will do that. I don't think I'd do that. I don't think that doesn't have any merit to do that. I did that during the season. It didn't work. But, you know, you're dealing with a different athlete today, too. And, you know, sometimes they don't respond as favorably as you could. Plus, you got to give the other team credit. You know, it's terrible to set up and say, well, the Broncos aren't doing this and they aren't doing that. They aren't doing this and they aren't doing that because of a reason. And that reason is the 49ers offense, defense, and special teams.
Terry, what about some of the play calling? I said the third shovel pass, and they ran a couple of draw plays in that one series. You say establish the deep passing lanes. What about that?
You do what you do best. You play to your strengths. Shovel pass is a one-time thing. You don't just shovel pass. You do what you do best. And like when Mike said that, you know, they're giving credit to the 49ers, and they're almost saying, hey, we don't have a way in the world to beat these guys, but don't get away from shovel pass, maybe some screens, but you got to establish what Elway does best. And what he does best more than anything, Brent, is throw the deep ball, deep post ends, deep post corners, options. Get him out. We haven't seen him delay and then run outside. Change it up. The first half, always an offensive coordinator runs his best stuff. Now, we've seen so far their best stuff, and it has been horrible. Second half, let's go to some other stuff.
All right, well, speaking of the stuff, let's find out what's been going on down with the players, and let's check in first with Irv Cross, who's been tracking the Broncos. Irv?
Ben, as you can imagine, the Broncos are really concerned as they filed into the locker room. Of course, they're very quiet and very sober, and a couple of players have said they're shocked or surprised things have gone the way they've gone. As a matter of fact, Keith Bishop, an offensive lineman, said, hey, it's not the defense's fault, it's the offensive fault. We haven't done anything. We have to score and keep the ball away and keep the ball away from Joe Montana. Here's what he's talking about. Elway, 6 for 20 in the first half, 63 yards passing, and only 87 yards of total offense. So right now, they're in there thinking sort of like Terry Bradshaw said, let's get the offense going. Let's go to Will McDonough at the 49er locker room.
Well, Brent, I think it's going to, Irv Bradley is very tough for them to try to come back against the San Francisco defense. You know, in the last 5.5 playoff games, including 1989, this defense has given up just 2 touchdowns. Both of them came when their offense was 18 points ahead. Now, I imagine Denver trying to come back today and score against this defense is going to be very tough. Let's go back to Pat and John upstairs.
Well, John, we've seen the 49ers do this kind of surgery on, well, for 3 times in a row now. Minnesota first, then the Rams, and now the Broncos. That's no surprise. Was there a turning point, in your opinion?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think starting off with the coin flip was a turning point. When the Broncos won it, then they got the ball, because I think Elway is the type of guy that has to come out and he has to get something going. And he came out and he was too pumped up. He threw 2 passes. They were both incomplete, and then he really couldn't get anything going. Then I think the other turning point was when the Broncos were down 7-3, and they were around midfield, and Bobby Humphrey fumbled. And then on this play, we'll see it here. You see they're at midfield. They're down 7-3. They take the fullback out. They're going to run Humphrey right into the line here. Now, whether he had his hands on the ball or maybe he couldn't feel it because of those ribs, the ball pops out. Now the 49ers get the ball. And from that point on, the 49ers went uphill and the Broncos went downhill.
Then, in your opinion, secondarily, what do you think, is there a realistic chance to get Denver back into the game?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they haven't proven that they can stop the 49ers yet, and I think that they had to knock Joe Montana down. In the whole first half, they didn't knock Joe Montana down. On defense, they had a tackle, and on defense, they missed 11 tackles in the first half. So there's always a chance, but when it's 27-3, I don't know what it is.
Well, let's throw it deep and hope, I guess. That's about as much as you can hope for. Second half coming up. The 49ers leading Denver 27-3.
The Super Bowl. The Packers won 2 straight. The Raiders won 3 times. And the Steelers won it 4 times. But one team has been there 5 years in a row. The GTE team. Once again selected by the NFL to custom design the telecommunications system for the Super Bowl. Bob Lilly, Dallas Cowboys.
2 Super Bowl wins.
Who'd ever forget?
You did.
From the Far East to Europe. Across the Caribbean and throughout North America, only one airline covers so much of the world with so much warmth.
So you're into statistics. Well, here's a couple you may have missed. Over the past 5 years, cocaine-related deaths have more than tripled, while deaths involving heroin have nearly doubled. Every year, tens of thousands who gamble with drugs pay the ultimate price. If you don't believe these numbers, come and see for yourself, because here is where they keep all of the final statistics on file.
Where there's help, there's hope.
CBS Sports coverage of Super Bowl 24 is sponsored by Diet Pepsi. Take a time out for the super taste of Diet Pepsi, the right one. Your Toyota dealer and a winning lineup of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Gillette and the revolutionary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Darkness has settled over New Orleans. If you look down at the Superdome, and darkness settled over the Denver Broncos in the first half. 49ers lead it 27-3. Part of the halftime show was a riverboat featuring our friend Pete Fountain. They couldn't get the riverboat level, but they got the goalpost level finally. Now it is, okay.
It is level, and the thing is, the two things you can't play without are goalposts and the footballs. They got a lot of footballs out there, and they had one goalpost. They finally got that one up, and now you got to get that carpet back together. Now, who would have thought? I mean, if the football gods are up there and they're looking down, they'd say, look at this. They're playing under a roof, on a carpet. They're putting the goalpost up and fixing the carpet after a halftime show.
George Toma, the guru of stadium maintenance and field conditions, has done such a magnificent job.
Right on the button. We're excited.
All right, George.
Everything's ready.
Safe.
I'll tell you, when it's 27-3, though, I wonder who cares if you have a straight goalpost. And this is how it happened.
16-5 in first downs, but down at the bottom, well, it all shows you why the score is 27-3. But look at that time of possession.
That's the thing, I think. You know, everyone's going to say, why didn't the Broncos do this? Why didn't Elway do that? In the first half, they really didn't have the ball. We talked, I think that key play for the Broncos was that Bobby Humphrey fumble at midfield when they were just down 7-3.
Treadwell set to start the second half of Super Bowl 24. Aaron Splagler at the 10. Taken down at the 23 by Kip Corrington. And the Broncos have got to air it out.
Yeah, you always talk about what the team that's down has to do. Even the team that's ahead has a problem, because I remember being in these situations and being ahead, and guys like Bubba Paris wants to know if he can play fullback. And the center, Justy Sapula, wants to go back and play guard again. And, of course, Steve Young wants to play. And guys want to do different things, and they forget that you have to play the second half the way you played the first half.
This is a familiar 49er script. Get ahead, and then go back to your running game. Montana's going to throw. To John Taylor. That's his first catch of the day. 8-yard pickup. Wyman Henderson brought him down.
Hey, I think the Broncos are trying to get fired up, and then they come back, and they're still a little frustrated. Look what Joe Montana did in the first half by distance. See, he was 11 for 13, under 10, 3 for 6, 10 to 20. Then he hit one deep one out of two, that deep post to Jerry Rice. But he has really thrown the ball mostly under 10 yards.
That's pretty much his pattern. Second down and 2. Rathman. Knocked backwards. Hit by Scott Curtis. Didn't get a first down, I don't think.
I would think that they'll probably come right back again to that side. When Bubba Paris is in there, they like to run behind him, and they don't pull him much. Because Bubba is, you know, they list him at $299. Bubba is closer to $399 than $299. He's not $399. Now, he'll get mad when I say that, but he's closer to $399 than $299.
He told me the other day when you introduced me, be sure you say that $299 so my mother can hear it. Stopped by Greg Cragen. I don't know if he got the first down or not.
This is going to be one of those spot deals. This is what Bubba does. You know, he's so big, he says he wants to get his mass on you. And when he gets that mass on you, I'll tell you, that does tire you out. I mean, he just goes and goes and goes. And then at the end, he falls on you. How'd you like to be Holmes there? You're thinking, this is a tough job. At least the Broncos stopped it. So their first goal was to get something going defensively. They've done that.
On 4th and short, the 49ers will punt. Barry Helton, the punter, and that's Vance Johnson.
Like I said, sometimes it's tougher to fire up the team that has the big lead than it is the team that has the big deficit.
Good kick. Johnson signals fair catch. Makes it. The Broncos get their first start of the second half from the 24-yard line. 42-yard punt. So the Denver defense did its work.
Now John Elway, I think, has to kind of relax and just let things flow. He threw those first two passes incomplete, and I don't think in the first half he ever got loosened up.
He missed those first two badly. Then they got something going, and then the fumble by Humphrey, and since then it was all 49ers. Mobley in motion. Elway throws the interception to Michael Walter. And the 49ers get it back at the Denver 27.
Well, whatever they talked about at halftime, I'm sure that wasn't it. Come out, let's open this thing up and throw one to a linebacker. Again, now the 49ers know they have to pass. Good pass rush. They get in his lanes. You see, Haley was right there. Michael Walter was in the lane. I don't think Elway ever saw Michael Walter because of Haley. You see Haley coming from his left right there? I don't think he saw him.
Sure didn't look like it. 1st and 10, 49ers at the Denver 28. Touchdown. It didn't take long.
I'll tell you, it's the same pattern. It's against the same coverage. That was a thing that they thought they could do. That's the 3rd touchdown to Rice on a post pattern. Right in the middle, splitting that defense.
Montana has been magnificent. The extra point was good. Rice has 6 carries for 136 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the 49ers move ahead 34-3. It's a power display.
Hi, I'm Joe Montana, and I'm going to do something a little crazy. I'm going to challenge all those linebackers singing for Diet Coke, the tennis players, the game show hosts, the singers, any celebrity who's ever done a Diet Coke commercial to come on TV with me right here and take a blind taste test to prove once and for all which tastes better, Diet Coke or new Diet Pepsi. So come on, Miss Wimbledon, I'm serving. Come on, guys, take your best shot. But remember, this is the taste that beats Diet Coke.
Did you know the cost for these 2 business calls from Los Angeles to Las Vegas at 10 a.m. may be different than you think?
Your checks in the mail? Great.
One long-distance company would like you to believe they always save you lots of money. But if you compare their price to AT&T Pro Watts for these business calls lasting over 4 minutes, you may be in for a surprise.
Wait a minute. It wasn't supposed to happen like this.
Value. Another AT&T advantage.
Gillette announces a razor that can sense the individual needs of your face. Introducing the extraordinary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Sensor blades are mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and adjust to your face for the best shave a man can get. Closer, smoother, safer. New Gillette Sensor.
In 2 weeks, don't miss the greatest show above Earth. The NBA All-Star Jam. Gravity doesn't stand a chance.
34-3. The 49ers in control. Jerry Rice. 6 receptions, 136 yards, 3 touchdowns, a Super Bowl record. Montana is setting records by the bushel.
And if the Broncos don't start playing a better defense in that middle, he's going to get 3 more.
Aaron Carrington for the Broncos. To about the 30-yard line. And Reeves has taken his coat off and rolled his sleeves up, but it's not working so far.
Watch what happens, Brad. Here's Jerry Rice. Now, they want to come up and bump him. They missed the bump. Now, the safety should be back here. He looks at John Taylor coming here. Jerry Rice comes here. Boom. Look at this wide open middle. You see, the bump is going to come up on him here. He misses him. He runs right by him. The safety looks at Taylor, and look at Jerry Rice wide open in the middle of the field.
Denver first down at their own 30. Elway swings it outside to Humphrey. Out of bounds at about the 37. Michael Walter knocked him out after a pickup of 7.
I think it doesn't look like Bobby Humphrey has been bothered by those 2 cracked ribs. One thing I noticed, on that play he got out of bounds, but on the other one, he's getting bent over and getting his shoulder pads in front, so all they have to hit is shoulder pads. He's not going to expose that rib side. This is what he's wearing. See, they just put an extension on his regular shoulder pads to cover the ribs.
2nd and 3. Humphrey again. First down, Denver. Again, he covered the ball and ducked under the tacklers.
And he's laughing here because Chet Brooks was coming up. Chet Brooks was coming up, and Chet Brooks was bringing a big load. And Bobby Humphrey, and just before Brooks got there, Bobby Humphrey got down under Brooks's load. There is a tough guy, number 31. I think that he has been a big part of the success of this 49er defense. A defense that people don't talk a lot about. He took over for Jeff Fuller as he played well.
It's a very good defense. No way to throw it. Chased by Kevin Fagan. Ball loose. Walter comes up with a loose ball, but Elway was down.
Here's a group that's done a heck of a job. We see Joe Montana walking by him, but that's the offensive line of the 49ers. There's Harris Barton, big right tackle. He was a guy who pulled early in the game and broke Roger Craig on a run. We remember that drive. Jesse Sapullo, thinking of those runs they've been getting up the middle to Rathman and Craig. And of course, this guy here, he leads the whole thing, doesn't it?
He's the artist. 2nd and 16. Elway chased by Haley. Got it up to Steve Sewell just at the last second. Stopped by Pierce Hope. Pickup of 10.
This is the thing that the Broncos, the thing they have to think about again is you don't think of scoring 40 points now. You just think you're getting 1 touchdown. They haven't done that yet. Maybe you just think about trying to get past midfield.
defended by Chet Brooks. Brooks out of bounds at the Denver 35.
I can't believe that there's not something wrong with John Elway. I mean, I know that he's had a cold because he was really coughing yesterday. I mean, he's just not throwing the ball. That's not John Elway. That's not the great passer that we've seen over the years. I mean, this ball comes out of there like a wounded duck. Watch, I mean, this isn't even a spiral. It's not that big a pass rush. He can't find anything open, but that thing's flipping and flopping around in the air, and it isn't even close to a receiver. Maybe it's frustration. Maybe it's physical, but this isn't the John Elway I've seen.
Here's Craig Barton again, who again gets an excellent block. Dennis Smith made the stop. Joe Montana's day today. The records he has set today: passing attempts, completions, yards, touchdown passes in a career, 4 in a game. That's a record. He's just been the same guy we saw in practice and against the Rams.
Yeah, they had that big scandal thing the other day, or the story about the drugs, and we went to practice that day, and everyone was thinking, geez, maybe it'll bother Montana. Like I said, every week, 2.5 hours, had 1 incomplete pass.
Going deep for Taylor, another touchdown.
And that's the same place, Pat. It's that post. It's the middle of the field. You talk about being vulnerable. That's worse than being vulnerable. They're getting killed.
35 yards from Montana to Taylor.
And we saw Jerry Rice catch 3 posts for touchdown. Now it's John Taylor's turn to run a post. A post, the guy just runs up, then he runs into the goal post. The quarterback throws it in the middle field, right at the goal post.
Hofer for the extra point. And the 49ers lead it by the score of 41-3 now. 9 minutes and 44 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. And the 49ers running away.
Schön, komm. Ich sehe nichts. Situation? Da ist er.
Toyota Celica. Das sieht nicht gut aus, Hans. Wir bewegen uns ins nächste Modelljahr 1990, während Toyota Celica ins nächste Jahrzehnt geht.
Watch out, Hogan's. People magazine says it's the most promising sitcom of the season. Valerie Harper is the talk of the town in City, premiering tomorrow night after Major Dad.
Watch this. Jerry Rice has caught 3 touchdown passes. He's here. He comes over here. Atwater jumps up on him, so they bring John Taylor. Boom, right there. That's how he gets to the post. Watch Atwater take the bite when Rice comes across, and that's what lets John Taylor get into the post. You see, right there, now Taylor, now he's up there. Now Taylor can get in behind him, and he's wide open for the touchdown. Right at the goal post.
And again, the pass was right in the basket.
Joe Montana's career has been putting passes in a basket.
Yeah. Hofer set to kick off. Kickoff team's gotten a lot of work today. That's Carrington at the goal line. Good return out to about the 38. Stopped by Flagler. And Reeves has been in, this is his 8th Super Bowl appearance. Some with the Cowboys as a player, some as an assistant. And then with Denver, they have had a tough time in Super Bowl competition. This is their...
Well, you know, he's done a heck of a job.
Yeah.
Their whole staff has really of getting here this many times. And, you know, maybe they aren't the best team in the NFL, but they have proven to be the best team in the AFC a number of times.
Elway will throw it. To Vance Johnson. Across midfield. Stopped by Johnny Jackson. First down.
Well, the Broncos are now going with no huddle. When you're down 41-3, you got to try something to change up, and then they decided to go with a huddle. They started a no huddle, and then they went back and huddled.
Not a lot to talk about when you're behind 41-3. Let's put it up, boys. Humphrey on the draw play. To about the 14. Don Griffin finally tripped him up. 34-yard run by Bobby Humphrey.
Yeah, that was one of the things that the 49ers were worried about is Bobby Humphrey's quickness. Watch, his line gets a block there. Right there, they get a cut block on Matt Millen. That's the block that sprung Humphrey through the hole. And when he gets in the open on artificial turf, what does this guy have quick moves? You know, he decided not to take his senior year at Alabama and go into the pros. Of course, Alabama played here in a bowl game, and he's playing in the big bowl game.
Away. Flag on the play. Clarence Kay was the intended receiver. Romanowski back there with him.
You know, talking about flags on the play, there's been very few
That's
flags in this game. The officials have really stayed out of the football game.
That's only the second penalty.
Interference, number 53, defense, first down on the 1-yard line.
And that was Romanowski. He was the guy who came up with the interception. I don't know. I think that's an interception. I think, you know, the score is 41-3, but I think that's a bad call. I know what they're going to say, that he didn't look back and that he face guarded. But I think if you intercept it, then it all ought to be off.
It's a heck of a play.
Yeah, he gets his hand up there, brings it down, and holds on to it with his left hand.
In any case, they've ruled it's interference. It's first and goal, Broncos at the 1. Humphrey collided with Elway. Didn't make it. Stopped by Pierce Hope.
Hey, this has to be the worst 3 quarters of football John Elway can remember in his life. Not only is he having trouble throwing the ball, but then he goes to run it, and his running back runs right into him. Doug Waddell was on the ground. He was in the way, and that was a play that didn't have a chance from the get-go.
Second and goal from the 1. Haley was the first to hit him, a loss of 2 yards.
I think that the 49ers have thrown these guys off so much that now they have a tough time getting a play off. Watch Matt Millen. Matt Millen loves to play short yardage and goal line. Just gets the feel of the guy, gets around his guys, gets around their guys, and finds a ball carrier.
So now it's third and goal from the 3. Goes to the shotgun. Runs a quarterback draw. And runs into the end zone. Touchdown, Denver.
Elway doesn't even look like he wants to celebrate that one, and I think he's right. This is an organized play. They have 4 wide receivers plus Sewell in there, and it's just a quarterback draw. They just put him the ball in the shotgun, snap the ball to him. He's supposed to find a hole up in the middle. There was no hole in the middle, so he just bounced it to the outside.
Kubiak will hold for Treadwell. 41-10. 6:53 left to play in the third quarter. 49ers still with a commanding advantage. 41-10.
Dear Jenny. Dear Jenny. I don't know. You're so neat. No. Dear Jenny. I don't usually...
Who is it from? I'll tell you.
I don't usually...
It's from Fred.
I don't usually pour my heart out like this. I am mesmerized.
I'm mesmerized. Your effervescent charm.
My passion for you will never be quenched. I will thirst for the exhilaration of your companionship. And I will place you on a pedestal above all others.
For eternity.
Love,
Love,
Fred.
Oh, Jenny, you must feel so special. I feel like a Pepsi.
I get letters from all over the country, pre-game, post-game. Jay, when should my Super Bowl party begin? When should it end? Jay, what's the proper etiquette? Hey, look, take it easy, okay? Start any time. But when you're out of Doritos tortilla chips, the party is pretty much over. That's right. This guy writes, because of this Berlin Wall thing, will there be enough Doritos tortilla chips to go around for my Super Bowl party? Didn't you understand that whole crunch all you want campaign? Hey, the day comes that we can't make more than you can eat. That's when we hang it up, pal. You understand that? Now eat Doritos and enjoy the game.
His job was espionage. And he made it a family business.
You're in this and you know it.
Family of Spies, beginning next Sunday.
Super Bowl number 24. Pat Summerall, John Madden at the Superdome in New Orleans. 41-10. Broncos just scored. Treadwell about to kick off.
You see who's in the wedge here all by himself? That's a one-man wedge. They're playing Tom Rathman. I think if I had Tom Rathman, I'd play a one-man wedge, too.
This is going to be Flagler from about the 3. Down at the 24 by Bruce Klosterman. 23-yard return. The Denver scoring drive, 5 plays. They went 61 yards, a big 34-yard run by Humphrey. Elway got the touchdown from 3 yards out. Rice and Taylor split wide left. Flagler was in motion. Craig gets the carry. Again, steps out of a couple of tackles, gets a first down. Simon Fletcher wrapped him up.
I don't think the Broncos have any idea of where to go to stop this team anymore. Yeah, I mean, they got Craig is still running. They can still run Rathman. They have thrown 4 touchdowns in the post in that area. And it seems like anything they want to do, they can do. The Broncos have not knocked Montana down all day. So I know it's artificial turf, but that's about as clean a jersey as a quarterback can have in a third quarter.
First and 10 49ers. The 36. Here's counter Trey. To Craig. Up by Andre Townsend this time. And Tim Lucas.
Yeah, if you look at where they passed, you can see that he was 5 for 5 in the middle deep. That's where he's killed him. Look, 142 yards deep in the middle, and 4 of those were touchdowns. Then he's 4 for 6 to the left, 6 for 8 in the middle short, 3 for 3.
Bruce Colley, who plays the third quarter, and Terry Tausch comes in. And right guard, that's Craig in motion. Montana back to throw it. And it's to Taylor. Complete. Stopped by Lucas. the 4 Super Bowls, look at the numbers for Montana. 68% completion. 1,105 yards, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. Remarkable.
He's a remarkable quarterback. We talked about that before, that we used to say that he was the best in football. I don't think anyone even argues that anymore. Now we're on a level, is he the best that ever played? And I'm one that votes yes.
He sees so much. Gets the ball out to Williams for a first down. And a gain of 7 yards. Steve Atwater made the stop on Jamie Williams.
Jamie Williams is another one of those guys from Nebraska, you know, along with Roger Craig and Tom Rathman. And he was a Plan B player. He got picked up from Houston, and he is really a happy guy. He was out most of the season, then he got to play at the end and play here in the Super Bowl. I saw him the other night. He was in front of a restaurant standing in line. I said, "Hey, Jamie, you're in the Super Bowl. You don't have to stand in line." He said, "Yeah, send me Montana and I won't have to stand in line." He was with Bono, the third-string quarterback.
Handoff is to Rathman. Got blockers in front. To the Denver 30. Atwater made the stop, but Rathman gets 18 yards.
You know who's done a heck of a job, Pat, is Harris Barden, the right tackle pulling. We'll just watch him here when we see him. He's done it all day, but watch 79 right there. You see him? Now he has to find the hole, and then when you find the hole, you have to find the guy that is going to make the tackle. See him lead right here? He finds the hole, then he gets his hands, he gets his block on him, and he's the guy that clears the way for Tom Rathman.
Flagler goes in motion. It's Craig this time, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Scott Curtis. Joe Montana has completed 12 consecutive passes. That is another Super Bowl record.
He's going to have so many of them that they won't even remember the other guys. That just broke Phil Sims's record for consecutive passes.
2nd and 11 at the 31. 41-10, San Francisco. Consecutive to Rice inside the 20. Stopped by Tyrone Braxton.
You see Jerry Rice, those pants, between his pants and his stockings, he wears a pair of long pants like dancers, or tights is what those are. So he wears tights, then he puts his socks over the tights and then the pants over the tights. And then in practice he just wears tights. And that kind of keeps all that stuff together, all those muscles and stuff, and keeps him warm, because this guy can just go all day.
Keeps that speed in there.
Yeah, I'd like to borrow some of that. That's if I could use that and wear some of that speed around.
First down, just inside the 20. Montana. Well, that broke the streak to Mike Wilson, but the pass was there.
Not only broke the streak, but it broke that same area. Of course, they're in a little closer now. As I said, they've thrown 4 touchdown passes to the post in that middle area, and then that was an incomplete in that same area. But the closer you get to the goal line, the tougher that pass is.
It's time to meditate. 1:21 left to play third quarter. 2nd down and 10. To Craig, who's to the 6. Stopped by Curtis and Simon Fletcher, but a 12-yard pass completion from Montana to Craig.
You know, I think at some point you have to give this offensive line credit, too, because Craig has done a lot. Rathman, Joe Montana hasn't been knocked down. He has a complete, clean jersey. He doesn't even look like he's sweating. And this offensive line has really come on in the last month of the season. They haven't allowed a sack, And in fact, they don't even allow anyone anymore to get close to Montana.
First and goal from the 7. 30 seconds left before the end of the third quarter. Montana didn't like what he saw. Timeout San Francisco with 28 seconds to go. The 49ers leading 41-10.
500 miles of the hottest wheels on earth. The Daytona 500.
We're back with the Budweiser scoring machine in high gear. Fourth and goal for the Bud Light 3.
They're bringing in, you know who? The Freezer!
But wait, Bud Light counters with the washer.
The dryer!
Folks are throwing everything at him, but...
No! He's here too!
They give it to the freezer.
No! No! Throw it, Bobby Bud!
Touchdown! At the end of the third quarter, it's Bud Light 34, Budweiser 30.
It's really starting to snow.
I love what you do for me, Toyota. I love how you set me free, Toyota.
Whether it's car of the year, truck of the year, most trouble-free, or #1 in customer satisfaction, Toyotas are always being singled out. No wonder there are more Toyotas on the road today than any other import.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
Join us next weekend when CBS Sports tees off its coverage of the PGA Tour with the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. Coverage starts Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time in one of the most beautiful spots anywhere in this country.
Yeah, I'd like to have that shot there and just swing as hard as I could and hit the ball in the ocean.
It's happened.
I know it, and I've seen it happen. In fact, I'm gonna come and watch that next week. I think that's one of the great golf tournaments, and it's sure one of the great spectacles in this country, that Pebble Beach area.
It's a special event at a special location. First and goal at the 7. Bradford to about the 3, stopped by Andre Townsend. 4-yard pickup.
There's nothing that guy can do now. I know the feeling there. You just kind of hope it gets over.
Clock ticking down to the end of the third quarter. And that is the end of the third quarter with the score of the 49ers 41, the Broncos 10. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Sexy, sophisticated, and successful.
Driving like you stole it.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Snyder and Rodriguez, Grand Slam premieres after the Super Bowl.
This is CBS.
Okay, everything's set. Let's go.
Okay, where?
I love a laugh and a smile every once in a while. So I can like my friends, what else is there in the end? You're not too old to have fun. It's good.
Let's get on the way.
I need fun.
You're good at that.
Play 3 for the money, the latest scratcher, and you could go all the way to the big spin.
Weather's getting worse.
I'm cold.
Wells Fargo has a history of coming through with new ideas in banking.
How much?
Him for $15.
Take a check?
Drawn on Wells Fargo.
We introduced the checking account before most banks had discovered California. After 137 years, our checking accounts are still making history. Wells Fargo comes through again.
Do the little things on your airline work as well as they should? Before you get on an Alaska Airlines plane, we make sure everything is shipshape, inside and out.
49ers post-game report, Sunday after the Super Bowl.
That's Joe Montana's wife, Jennifer, the blonde.
She still has her ticket. She's so proud of that ticket in this game. She's going to carry that around forever. That's going to be a souvenir. Jennifer will take it home and tell Joe, look how I got him.
Second and goal at the 4. Around. Touchdown. And the route continues. From 3 yards away. Rathman adds to the total.
He's still trying to get warm over there. Hey, what a machine this 49er offense is. What a machine this 49er team is. Hey, the holes are getting so big now, it's starting to be embarrassing. These 2 running backs, Rathman and Craig, have done a job. The offensive line has been outstanding. Outstanding.
The receivers have been outstanding. The only thing I can remember that went wrong was the missed extra point. Not so this time. 48-10. San Francisco. 72,919 in attendance today at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans. San Francisco 48, Denver 10. We just begin the final quarter. Good look at the Superdome from the MetLife blimp. Over 97 miles of wire are needed to connect the 8,500 lights that make up that night sign on the MetLife blimp.
You wonder how it feels to go through a period that Joe Montana's going through, where, you know, I mean, everyone struggles in what they do, and even some people that are the best, you know, it's still hard, but to make it look this easy and to do the things that he's done, I wonder what it feels like inside.
I've never experienced it. I couldn't tell you.
No, I haven't either, and I you know, just watch him, and he's so cool about it. I know yesterday when we talked to him, I felt more excited about the game tomorrow than he did. And, heck, they're not shooting any bullets at us.
No.
There's no pass rushes or blitzes or guys hitting your...
He certainly didn't seem cocky, but he did seem very confident.
Well, and he talked about fear, just the fear of losing and the fear of playing poorly.
Harrington. Brought down just outside the 20 by Romanowski again.
I think everyone's wondering at what point do the Broncos say that's enough and put in Gary Kubiak for John Elway.
I was just starting to think that myself.
Well, it's a type of thing that Elway has never really gotten started today. I mean, he did run that one in for a touchdown, but this was just not his day, and I don't know that the answer, of course, is to change quarterbacks either.
It is still Elway. Mark Jackson, the man on the move. Elway sacked by Daniel Stubbs. Steve Young getting ready.
Yeah, I would think that with a 48-10 lead in the fourth quarter, that Steve Young is probably going to come in the next series. That's a nice way to go in, too. I mean, it's not fun. It's not good being a backup quarterback, but, you know, you have to mop up to usually go in when you're way ahead or way behind. But when it's a Super Bowl and you're following a guy like Joe Montana, what the heck, smile about it.
Flag on the play as Elway goes back to throw, gets the screen pass up the middle to Sammy Winder. Kevin Fagan on the stop, gain of 9.
49ers just look like they're quicker and faster. You know, they have a term in boxing to get off first. You know, the first guy that gets a punch up. The 49ers get off first.
In every case. In every play.
Offside, number 98, defense, 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, still second down.
Antonio Goss, the man who jumped.
Yeah, I don't think Antonio Goss, I think it was 96 they were talking about. I think they changed that. Yeah, I think it was Stubbs.
He's the one who made the sack the play before. 2nd and 11. Elway almost take it down again. It is. Fumble. And the 49ers pick it up. Stubbs recovered the fumble. Returned it 16 yards.
Say, the 49ers aren't showing any mercy on him, Pat.
Wow.
They were bringing the defensive backs on that one. They were blitzing their safeties. They were bringing the corners. And Stubbs picked up the fumble after Elway was hit and fumbled the ball. But watch this. They get the 4-man rush. Now watch the corners coming from the outside. See Griffin, 29. There you see the other corner, Pollard, coming from the other side. And they're the guys that flush him out. Griffin's the guy that hits him. The corner who blitzed him finally hits him and knocked the ball out.
Millen and Elway in conversation. I don't know what about.
I don't know. Matt Millen, of course, played against the Broncos and John Elway for so many years when Matt Millen was with the Raiders.
1st and goal at the 1. Montana still in. Craig. 49er touchdown. A yard out. Topher in to try for the extra point. We have 13 minutes and 47 seconds left to play.
Hey, this is complete domination. The 49er offense has beaten the Denver Bronco defense every way a defense can be beaten.
55-10. With 13:47 left to play. This is just unfortunate. Are we on yet?
Are we on yet?
We on yet?
Hi, folks. Hello, everybody. Do we have a big one for you today? Jordan gets the ball. He drives down the left side of the fairway.
Bo Jackson catches it at the wall and fires a bullet to McEnroe.
Gretzky, Jackson. Jordan. Ooh, wow. Electrical.
And now a word from our sponsor. Nice shoes.
Over to you, Dick.
Over to you, Kurt.
Over to you, Tommy.
Over to you, Dick. No, the other Dick.
Over to you, Harry.
Take me out to the...
Lovely. And now a word from our sponsor.
Nice shoes.
Gretzky takes the puck up the ice and fires the backhand.
Out of the bunker. For a
Score. Game, set, and
touchdown.
Nice shoes.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
In all my years, decades, as a sportscaster,
I've never, ever seen anything like it.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
holy cow!
You got the feeling. You know it can't be denied. Get on your Pontiac and ride. Pontiac ride. Ride. Pontiac ride. Ride. Pontiac ride.
CBS Sports coverage of Super Bowl 24 is sponsored by Nike, who reminds you to just do it. Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We build excitement. And by Budweiser and Bud Light, who also bring you today's exciting Bud Bowl 2 matchup.
55-10. Super Bowl record for number of points scored. They broke the record, the 49ers did, of the Bears when they beat the Patriots Same field. Over to kickoff. Carrington. Dragged down at the 26. Return of 26.
Yeah, we just saw Pete Kugler going in there, Pat, on defense, number 67. He's playing his last football game today. He's after this game for the 49ers, he's going to retire at 9 years. He's really had a good career. He's played for the 49ers. He went to the USFL, then came back to the 49ers, had some injuries, had a bad shoulder, been a tackling end, but a real good player for this 49er team.
Listed as a nose tackle, but he's playing defensive end down. Here's Humphrey. Michael Walter made the stop.
And the ironic thing, he's playing his last football game against the Denver Broncos, and he's going to go live in Denver. He was thinking of a good place to raise a family, and that's where he's going to take his family. He bought a house in Denver, and he's going to live in Denver. So he's playing his last game against the Broncos, and he's going to move in with them.
2nd and 4. A lot of smiles on the 49er sideline. Elway chased out of the pocket by Stubbs, gets it to Melvin Bratton. And he gets the first down, goes out of bounds. Matt Millen.
Matt Millen, after he makes any tackle, always talks to the guy. He always has something to say, and he kind of baits those guys. Now watch him. After he tackles them, he talks to him, then he makes them push him or punch him. Now, when they do that, the official's supposed to call a penalty, and that's what Millen's trying to get. There's a guy on defense who enjoys playing football. Matt Millen was made to be a linebacker. He just loves playing.
And he's been reborn here, too.
You know, the Broncos are reduced to a point that they can't even get the snap from the center anymore. I mean, there were people that anticipated a blowout, and sometimes in these Super Bowls, you say, oh, it's going to be a great game, and then it's not. And I think a lot of people thought that this would be a blowout, and then it is. They can say, well, I told you it was going to be a blowout.
Well, you can always hope. Second and 11. Elway again chased out of the pocket. And down. Stubbs and Roberts. Backup defensive end.
Yeah, the 49ers have so many good ones. You know, you got Pierce Holt, you got Kugler, and you got Fagan, and then you bring in a Roberts and a Stubbs, and they're all good pass rushers. They're all strong guys. You know, some of them quick, some of them are bull rushers, but they can just keep throwing those defensive guys at you. And then when you have that offense to go with it, that's a pretty good sandwich.
3rd down for Denver and 23. Winder taken from behind the line of scrimmage by Kevin Fagan. Loss of 6.
I know sometimes you think, is there any way that you could just call off a game? I was laughing. People say, well, one thing about them, they didn't quit. Well, of course they didn't quit. They don't let you quit. You got to play 60 minutes unless you tie.
Off the side of the foot of Mike Horan. We have 11:13 left now. And the 49ers leading Denver by the score of 55-10.
Look out tomorrow. Here comes party.
The road to excitement now leads to this, a special touring edition of the Grand Prix Sports Sedan. Its V6 power, fuel injected quick.
Its optional anti-lock braking, sure and precise. Its feel, undeniably Pontiac. Grand Prix STE.
So you're back for more, huh? Well, forget about it. You can only knock down so many. Know what I'm saying? I don't mean to be taking any jabs, but you're too heavy for me. That's why I'm leaving. Besides, I have a new title now. Just call me sugar-free.
Discover the 1-calorie real cola taste worth leaving Pepsi for.
Goodbye, Pepsi. I say you're out cold. For the taste of it, Diet Coke.
There is no sound so unique as the human voice. Soon, it will bring you voice-activated calling on the all-fiber optic network of U.S. Sprint.
Chris Stanford.
A system that recognizes your voice
Call home.
and dials numbers.
Hello, darling.
Just by asking. Such is the power of the human voice. The new voice-activated calling card, only from U.S. Sprint.
In 2 weeks, don't miss the greatest show above Earth. The NBA All-Star Jam. Gravity doesn't stand a chance.
11:13 left to play. Jerry Rice has got on the baseball cap.
Hey, they just couldn't handle Jerry Rice or anyone that went into the post today, and they had 4 touchdowns into the post. Look at those defensive backs over there, and they really put a blanket on those Bronco receivers. Elway didn't have much of a day, but he really didn't have too many guys open to throw to either.
Joe Montana still the quarterback for the 49ers. This is Flagler. Tackled by Rick Dennison.
Yeah, there's an amazing guy, Pat, right there. Pierce Holt, number 78, playing as well as he does in his second year. They're taking Montana out now. They finally took him out, and they're putting in Steve Young.
Montana was 22 out of 29. 297 yards, 5 touchdowns. Flagler again. Out by Brooks. And he goes to the 49er baseball cap. 5 touchdowns, a new Super Bowl single game record. And 22 out of 29. Super Bowl record set today. At almost every one conceivable. Third down for the 49ers. They need 14. Flagler and Sidney were the running backs for Young, who has all kinds of time. Pass is called incomplete. Intended to Wesley Walls. Vance Johnson will go back deep for Denver. Barry Helton will do the punting. (55-10). 9:43 left to play. Not much left to analyze, is there?
Well, I think we're going to be able to analyze the backup quarterbacks now.
Okay. Johnson lets it roll. Kubiak warming up now for Denver. 46-yard punt. Broncos will take over just inside their own 20.
there's something coming. Transport like you never seen. Transport. It's a new kind of driving machine. Get on the Pontiac.
The space vehicle of the 90s. Introducing the Pontiac of minivans. The new Pontiac Transport.
Ride, transport, ride. Get on your Pontiac. We build excitement. Transport, transport, ride.
Power of the MetLife blimp, which will travel over 10,000 miles in 1990 as it covers network sporting events around the country. That's how it looks inside. They're having fun. Gary Kubiak is now the Denver quarterback. Long day for John Elway. Humphrey hit behind the line of scrimmage by Kevin Fagan.
Now, here's what they do with Joe Montana. He's always had that elbow problem, so it's a lot like a baseball pitcher. Once they finish the day, then they just kind of wrap it up and put it away. You got an arm like that, you just pack it around in some kind of case, then you wrap it up at the end and you put it away till next year.
Kubiak under pressure. And down by Pete Kugler.
I tell you, Kugler is thinking that this is his last game. Let's make this last one a good one. And here you are at the end of your career. You're playing your last game, and you might as well just fight that thing out to the end. Yeah, it always has to be a double-edged sword. And on one hand, you're kind of happy that it's over. You are retiring. You're making your decision. But on the other hand, in fact, I talked to him in the streets about it the other night. You wonder if you're going to worry 5 years from now that maybe you left a year too early.
That's 49ers' 5th sack. Kubiak with plenty of time this time. And the pass complete to Ricky Nattiel. Out to about the 43. Johnny Jackson made the stop.
Ricky Nattiel is a guy that has to have surgery in the offseason. He cracked a kneecap during the season. And they held him out. They just rested him. He only caught 10 passes all year. As he said, it's just been kind of a lost and wasted year for him. And he hopes to have the surgery in the offseason, get the knee better, and come back and be a complete player again.
Kubiak again. Ball batted down. Hit by Haley. Deflected.
Here's a guy, when we were talking to John Elway yesterday, he says the key to the 49er defense is Charles Haley. That when they break the line, he wants to go up and find out where he is because he's their most active guy, their best pass rusher, and where he lines up determines what they're going to do. And he's just one of those guys who is all over the place. He'll go inside, outside, bat balls down. A very active and very good player.
Winder is the lone setback. 2nd and 10. Kubiak throws behind Nattiel this time.
If you look at what the 49ers have done to the Denver quarterback, look, they've sacked him 5 times, hurried him 10 times, made him fumble once, batted 2 balls down and intercepted 2. So that is a statistic that shows what a good job the 49er defense has done today.
Elway finished 10 out of 26. Had 2 picked off. Only threw for 108 yards. And that was the key to their success going into the game. Kubiak from behind. Daniel Stubbs, a loss of 1.
John Elway is going to take the heat, and this is his 3rd Super Bowl, his 3rd loss in a Super Bowl, but As he said, he would rather be there and take a swing at it. He also said before he's ever going to be considered a great quarterback, he knows that he has to win one of these things.
Taylor back. Fields the punt. Out to the 31, stopped by Tim Lucas. Getting ready in the 49er locker room, Huey Lewis and Eddie DeBartolo.
Yeah,
Jr.
This is Eddie DeBartolo, and there's Huey Lewis right there. They're getting the celebration done before the game. Still 6 minutes, 5 and 58 seconds. Huey Lewis and Eddie DeBartolo down there, they're waiting for the team to come in.
And we'll be in there as well after the game is over for the presentation of the championship trophy, the Lombardi Trophy. Each player, of course, will get the honor of being a member of the repeating Super Bowl champions and also $36,000. Flagler, a flag on the play.
Yeah, who said you can't repeat? In fact, at the ring ceremony last year when the 49ers got their rings, Joe Montana was the first guy to bring it up, and he said, let's repeat. Roger Craig already has the hat. They're still in the fourth quarter.
Number 66, offense, 10
Roger
yards,
Craig
still
is talking
first
about three-peats. You hear that? It's a new word. You win a Super Bowl. Hey, good, you know. Then can you repeat? Then you repeat. Now you talk about three-peats.
Well, they certainly have got enough people to accomplish that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that. They got the team of the decade there in the locker room already. They got hats. And I'm sure someone will make up a thing now for three-peats.
I like that. It's a good word.
Well, you got your Pete, your two Petes, and go for three-peats.
This will be their fourth Super Bowl championship. Flagler again. About the 33. Or the 23, make that. Stopped by Warren Powers.
Hey, there's the guys, that offensive line that really did the job today. They're protecting Joe Montana. Guy McIntyre going to a Pro Bowl, starting left guard.
Yes, back to back. Now let's go for...
The coordinating producer of Super Bowl number 24 is Charles H. Milton III. Boy, he did a heck of a job this week. Or on this event, I should say. It's to Harry Sidney. 7-yard pickup. Super Bowl 24 produced by Robert D. Stinner. Directed by Sandy Grossman. Super Bowl today produced by Eric Mann. The Super Bowl today directed by Duke Struck. Senior producer David Winter. And the executive producer of CBS Sports is Ted Shaker. Hats off to all of them.
How about Jim Burt bringing his son out there, giving him 5 kisses in a row, and then handing him his helmet and telling him to sit on the bench? That's Super Bowl celebration.
Pass complete to Mike Sherrard. There's Jim Burt. Another guy who found new life with the 49ers.
Hey, he's getting more kisses from his son. That's a Super Bowl record. I remember when he played for the Giants, he brought his son down there, and it was headbutts in those days. Now, a few years later, it's kisses. They're shaking hands, he's introducing all the guys. You talk about a thrill. That's a thrill for the son, but I'll tell you, the dads have to be awfully happy, too.
Flagler, the ball carrier. Stopped by Andre Townsend. The clock running with 4:20 left to play, and the 49ers leading 55-10.
Yeah, but Jim Burt's the only guy that could do that pass. You see Tom Rathman, he's talking to Norv Hecker. Yeah, but Jim Burt's the only guy that could bring his son down there and have a Super Bowl record of father kissing son with 10 and introduce him to all the linemen and the Super Bowl on the bench. He's still going, that's 11. Matt Miller said, where are my kids?
Where are my kisses?
Bring me some kids.
Flagler. Stopped by Rick Dennison. gain of 10 and another first down. Tough day for Dan Reeves.
I tell you, there's no bigger gap in football than the difference between winning a Super Bowl, as this sideline is, and losing a Super Bowl, as this sideline. That's the biggest gap in sports.
Just been announced to the crowd and to us that Montana is the unanimous Super Bowl MVP for the 3rd time. And that's another record. Flagler trying to skip to the outside. Knocked out of bounds by Darren Carrington. Eddie DeBartolo has left the locker room.
He better watch out. I mean, hey, if you get a big old fullback and a tough guy like Tom Rathman squeezing you, play, you could just pop some vertebrae right out of your back if you're Eddie DeBartolo. But, you know, one of the things about Eddie DeBartolo is these players really love this guy. I mean, they really do. And they said, the guy has so much money, he has everything. Joe Montana was saying, the only thing we can give him in return for what he does for us is the Super Bowl. That's the only thing he can't buy himself.
Sidney straight ahead, stopped by Warren Powers. We'll get the 2-minute warning before another play. That's it. So 2 minutes to go. 55-10 49ers.
We're back, and we got us a blizzard here at Bud Bowl. For Budweiser, it's down to one last play. 3 seconds left. They're down by 4.
Come on, guys. Don't fizzle out on me now.
They need a touchdown. They need a miracle.
33!
It's loose in the end zone.
Who's got it? Budweiser! Bud's got it! They win!
With a miraculous last-second comeback, it's Budweiser 36, Bud Light 34.
Fraser, back-to-back titles. How did you do it?
Let me tell you, man, nothing beats a Bud.
Nothing beats it. Nothing beats it. The one and only. Nothing beats it. The clean, the crisp, the cold. The king of beers.
Nothing beats the Bud. Nothing beats the king of beers. Nothing beats the Budweiser. Nothing beats the Bud.
Quick post-game wrap-up. First quarter, 87,000 bags of Doritos tortilla chips were eaten. 48,000 of them of nacho cheese flavor. That's an end-of-game total of 351,240 bags. I guess that's why we called it the Super Bowl. Whew, I am physically and mentally exhausted.
I love football as much as you guys, but the season's over. We can get depressed or we can help each other through it. Murphy Brown, Monday nights on CBS.
You want to see it? For Jeff Fuller, baby. We did it for you, Fuller. Number 1. We did it for you, baby. The whole team, it was for you. The best in the world.
That, of course, was Chet Brooks talking about Jeff Fuller, who was injured earlier in the season. He and Chet were great buddies, and still are. 3rd down for San Francisco. 2 minutes to go. Young gets away from a sack, gets away from another sack, gets a block. First down, out of bounds. Stops the clock after a scramble of 11 yards. Keena Turner celebrating. That was Wallace that got the block that sprung him.
That was Steve Wallace on Warren Powers, number 91. Watch it, it's going to happen. Wallace is number 74. He got his leg broken in last year's Super Bowl, but watch him, he's going to block 91 the second time around, right there. And I think Steve Wallace is one of the best tackles in football. He and Bubba Parrish share that left tackle position now for the 49ers, but I think that guy right there, 74, is one of the best in the game.
1st and 10. Young is just going to run fields and does nothing else. Another happy man, Matt Millen.
Well, he was happy. He was waived. He was waived by the Raiders this year. Picked up by the 49ers as a free agent. And now he ends up in a Super Bowl.
Tonight on CBS, John Schneider and Paul Rodriguez star as rival bail bondsmen out to catch a killer in the world premiere of the new CBS series Grand Slam. That, of course, after our post-game show when we be in both locker rooms. Young again, just Neal. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. A happy 49er day.
I tell you, if you're a football player, a football coach, football family, there's no higher honor than winning the Super Bowl. There's no better feeling than this feeling right now. Because this year, you're the best. George Seifert in his first year, and they can never take it away.
What a year they had. What a way to finish it. Dejected John Elway. A group of teammates that feel the same way he does. Filing into the locker room, it'll be a pleasant off-season for them. Done. Down the stretch, they were just about perfect.
I think they were perfect in all areas and led by a guy who probably played as good a football as the game of football has ever seen.
These last three games, Minnesota, the Rams, and this one, the performance by Joe Montana was just almost unbelievable.
You know, he doesn't want to talk about being the best. Because he said, you say that until your career's over. And he said, I don't think that I'm over. I don't even think I'm close to being over.
He hopes to play, he said, until he's 40.
How would you like to be a kid getting a piggyback ride from your father off the field of a Super Bowl victory?
You hear me?
Isn't that something? The MVP of the Super Bowl, he has to go in and fix his own chair in the locker room.
3 times. The MVP. The final score again. The 49ers 55, the Denver Broncos 10. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of Super Bowl 24.
In 13 cities and 10 countries across the Pacific, they're playing our song. United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve, halfway around the world. Come fly in friendly skies.
Your butt, Snoopy. Good grief.
Next weekend on CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
Presenting the 1990 Mitsubishi Mighty Max. This new Mighty Max gives you more power and more standard equipment than any other imported pickup. You'll have to be awfully loyal to your old truck not to get into the new Mitsubishi Mighty Max.
You could save up to $1,500 at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer today.
changed about the game. Today, the best in the business fly. And the airline that takes over 300 college and pro teams to their chosen field is United. Come fly the friendly skies.
You go?
Let me know you care.
It's important to recognize teachers who inspire us to do our best.
For the way that you inspired me.
I like it.
For the heart and soul you gave. I just want to say thanks. Thanks to teachers.
Lockheed is proud to honor excellence in education. Join us by nominating your favorite teacher today. Pick up your ballot at your local library and say thanks to teachers.
Where do millions of the world's vehicles go when they need to fill up? Same place you do. BP.
Don't worry, you were here first.
BP. On the move.
49ers post-game report, Sunday after the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 24, the post-game show, is sponsored by today's Chevrolet, who invite you to see why nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America. And by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
The San Francisco 49ers keep their date with the history books. In one of the greatest football games ever played by one team, they become the first team in the history of the National Football League to win back-to-back Super Bowls since the Pittsburgh Steelers. What an unbelievable job. And owner Eddie DeBartolo gets the winner's treatment. And now, really in keeping with this new dynasty, what a pleasure it is to bring in the new commissioner of the National Football League, Paul Tagliabue, to award the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Paul?
Brent, nice to be here on a special day. Eddie, I know you're wet, but let me just say this. Today, the 49ers finished their trip to becoming one of the elite teams in the history of the National Football League. You've won your second straight Super Bowl game. The team did it in dominating fashion, as you've done in the playoffs, as you did it throughout the season. You've won your fourth Super Bowl in a decade, even less than a decade, tying the Steelers as the only team in the history of the league to win 4 Super Bowls. And you are clearly, at this time, the 49ers are the team of the decade, and they're starting the 90s looking like the team of the 90s. I want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate all the players, Coach Seifert, and your entire staff. Congratulations.
All right. I know you guys think that I'm all wet, and I am. First of all, I want to congratulate Pat Bowlen and Dan Reeves in a fine job that they did this year with the Broncos. They really had a great season. But to you men, I want to say one thing. Back in July, when we traveled to Tokyo, we had a mission, we had a quest, and we have one hell of a football team, and I love you, God bless you, and thank you for being world champions. And thank you to a man that came in a very, very situation that wasn't exactly easy, and he is your coach, Coach Seifert.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. George, while you were coming up here to the stand, I want you to know that the first thing the players said, the first thing, when they came in, they said, three-peat, three-peat. They've got the heat on you already.
Well, we're so happy and proud of this football team. There's no question about it. I'm happy for them that they were able to achieve this goal. And if they want to go for another one, that's fine with me.
George,
I'm so happy for Eddie, and I'm so happy for all the 49er fans, too, and all the people in San Francisco.
George, did you ever think it would be this easy when you were looking at the films and the plans? 55 points this afternoon. You had it against Minnesota. It was 27-3. The Rams 21-3. These games were over at the half.
Well, I think as a football coach and as a football team, you give plenty of respect to your opponent, and none of these games are easy. We've played 3 great teams in these playoffs, they would have had to have been great teams to get to this point. So we're just proud of the effort of the team, this entire organization, and I'm proud of the teams that we played against, and I'm proud of this team, obviously.
George, congratulations. Eddie, congratulations. And we're going to continue live from the San Francisco 49ers locker room in just a moment.
In the 80s, Honda became known for its reliable, feature-filled cars.
You ready, Dad?
I love this car. But today, the 90s begin with the new Geo Prism. The quality sedan with 16-valve performance, Prism is designed for years of carefree driving, with more of the features and little extras that make life easier. So you know you'll be friends for a long time. Get to know the new Geo Prism at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Getting to know you.
Whiskas. It's no ordinary cat food. It's the cat food cats find irresistible. Whether it's meaty or crunchy, it's got the fresh meat taste cats just adore. As you see, cats know what's good. That's why more and more cat owners tell us their cats prefer Whiskas.
From the Far East to Europe, across the Caribbean, and throughout North America, only one airline covers so much of the world with so much warmth.
Well, the 49ers won.
Yay!
Darn. So McDonald's everywhere, even in Homer, Alaska, will honor the winners with the $1.09 DLT.
Break out the Diet Coke.
But should Bronco fans lose just because their team did?
Yeah!
Of course not. So they'll still get their 99-cent quarter pounder with cheese, even though they didn't win.
But we played our little hearts out.
A $1.09 McDLT and a 99-cent quarter pounder for a limited time.
We're going to watch the Super Bowl every week.
Well, a very tough afternoon for Dan Reeves. He's standing by with Irv Cross live. Let's go to Irv.
Tough afternoon indeed, Brent, but Dan graciously stood here and waited for us to come into the locker room. But Dan, of all your Super Bowl losses, I know you were very optimistic coming into this one. Was this perhaps maybe the most disappointing?
Well, no, they're all disappointing, Irv. You know, when you lose and you don't play up to your abilities, I think that hurts. But, I mean, the San Francisco 49ers are playing on a level right now it's hard for anybody in the National Football League to keep up with. They're playing awful well. We knew that they would have to have an off day, and we would have to play as well as we possibly could play and not make any mistakes to have a chance. And they didn't cooperate. They didn't make any mistakes all day, and my hat's off to them. George has done a great job all year of keeping them focused in. They got an awful lot of weapons on offense, and they get an awful lot of credit. But their defense is outstanding. I mean, they have got some great players on defense. They're just an outstanding team, and, you know, they certainly deserve to be the champions. They were the best team this year, and certainly we've got a long ways to go to measure up to the level that wins championships. We came a long ways this year, and I'm proud of this football team, but we just got a long ways to go.
Dan, when you got your team assembled in there after the game, what did you say to them?
Well, Irv, there's not a lot you can say, and I'm just told them basically that I was disappointed that it didn't work out for them because they wanted it very badly, and, you know, they played hard. You can't question that. We just made some mistakes in the game, and you can't do that against a great football team like the 49ers. So there's not a lot you can tell them. They hurt very badly. We disappointed an awful lot of people. We made some brilliant forecasters out of a lot of experts. They did a great job and said we didn't belong on the field with them, and you'd like to, you know, have something to say about that. It just didn't turn out that way.
Dan, thanks for being with us.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Brent?
All right, Irv, thank you very much. And I'm with Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Joe, congratulations. Third time you've been the MVP. Your buddy Jerry got it a year ago. But this was some performance. You really looked pumped up when you were introduced to the crowd. I said, wait a minute, Joe's ready here.
Well, I think we all were ready. You know, there was a lot of talk about, you know, them, and there had been some things that happened out in the streets. They weren't talking to us, and I think that helped to motivate our team. And I'll tell you what, our offense was executing, and I'll tell you what, our defense just shut down another great offensive team, and that was two of the biggest keys.
Jerry, tell us about your two touchdowns. The first one, I know Steve Atwater tried to decapitate you down by the goal line.
Yeah, he really wanted to knock me down, but the thing I tried to do, just focus in on the football, and I was able to really keep my balance and get into the end zone.
Yeah, and then the third touchdown, as we roll that up, describe that for us.
Well, Joe is the best, and he drilled the ball in there. And the thing about that, I knew that Atwater was getting ready to hit me, so I just held on to the football.
You know, Joe, it is absolutely remarkable. The ball is so catchable when you throw it. I mean, these guys take it on a run, and they'll take a 5 or a 10-yard ball. They'll turn it into a 50-yard gain. We've talked about this.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about our guys, not only our wide receivers, but our running backs. We're not afraid to give them the ball short because they've got some great ability to run with it after the catch. And, you know, they've been showing that all year long.
Tell me about your offensive line and what they did for you.
Well, I mean, I didn't even get – I think I might have got touched once. And, you know, I don't think I got sacked down the stretch, and they just had one heck of a ball game. And, heck, I could play to 140 if they play like that.
Hey, Jerry, can you become the first team to make it 3 Super Bowl championships in a row?
I feel we can. We got a great team, a great organization, and I'm just looking forward to next year.
You agree with that, Joe?
I sure do. I'll tell you, you know, Coach Holman called a great game, him and George, and there was a lot of pressure going into the ball game, but, you know, they put it on.
Hold that picture up there now. Is this the 2 Montana girls here?
Yeah, Jennifer did this for me about 3 months or so before. And I've been keeping it in my locker, in the back of my locker, and there was only one little mistake here. It says, this ring is mine. Well, I think this one's hers, and I'll take the next one.
All right, Jerry and Joe, congratulations. Another fabulous performance by the San Francisco 49ers, and we're going to continue live from New Orleans after these messages from your local stations.
All throughout the game, we've been telling you about our new CBS series, Grand Slam.
Hey, what's the hair? So you know we're not the Heat.
But they do like it hot.
Oh, baby. My car's hot.
Guy's car, wait a minute, his car is not hot. My fight scenes, those are hot.
Oh, he fights like a girl.
How do you know?
Hey, I was married. Now, my love scenes, they're hot.
Oh, nice guy.
What
about the chili pepper scene?
Now, that's
Don't go away. Grand Slam premieres tonight.
This is CBS.
Introducing a better way to call the Pacific.
I called Japan to pay respects to my father, and my mother, and my sister. Then I got my AT&T bill.
Introducing MCI's new Call Pacific plan. Now call any Pacific plan country for just 79 cents a minute and start saving with MCI's lowest rates ever.
Now I pay my respects to MCI.
Call now and ask for MCI's new Call Pacific plan.
DHL announces 1,466 flights daily. One flight every 58 seconds. The fastest service to more countries in the world of any air carrier. One restriction applies. You have to be a package. DHL, faster to more of the world.
When the West was young, getting a good beer wasn't easy.
Anybody want a Henry?
In fact, for the West's finest beer,
Henry Reinhardt?
beer drinkers would wait for months.
Just come into town.
It came from hundreds of miles away.
Oregon.
But if that seems like a lot of trouble just for a better beer,
Now, for supper,
it really wasn't.
there's a few things not on the regular menu.
Because even then, Westerners did everything in a very special way.
Buffalo and a light cream sauce. Our fresh fish tonight is brook trout almondine. The desert sage hen is especially good. Broiled over mesquite.
What happened was we were able to just make sure that we contained him in the pocket. We wanted to try to not give up the long pass, and I think that first pass that he threw early in the game, it was a little short, and I'm not sure why, but it was just one of those things that I don't think he was really on today.
Everybody said before the game you would like to keep him in the pocket, and if you made him run, try to make him run up the middle.
That's true. We wanted to keep him in the pocket. We wanted them to run up the middle, and also we didn't want to give up the long pass. We felt coming into this game, after looking at some of the previous games, the reason that they were winning was because of the long pass.
Let's talk about Joe Montana and the adversity of the week. You told me that it really had something to do with the way your team played today.
That's true. All the players just rallied around him. One of the things that happens is when a player of his caliber is being ridiculed or being trash and paper. We try to rally around him as a family, and we know what Joe's about. We understand what he's about. It's crazy for people to think that he's had a drug problem, or that he even used drugs. Joe's a great family man, and he's really dedicated to our team. And the guys just said, look, let's go out and rally around him, and let's win it for him.
You also said there was some antagonism towards some of the Denver players.
That's true. Early in the week, I guess Larry Roberts and Don Griffin and a couple of other guys went out, and some of the Denver players didn't even want to socialize with us. And that was really tough because, I mean, you're here to win the football game, but when those things happen, it means war, and we just want to take it out on each other.
Ronnie, thanks very much. Let's go to Brent.
All right, well, here's one of the unsung guys, Tom Rathman. Tom, another great job.
Well, I'll tell you what, our whole team really went out and executed the game plan today. You've got to give a lot of the credit to the coaching staff.
Great. Part of the Husker Connection. Congratulations, and we're going to continue live from New Orleans in just a moment.
He's got a real job at Dow. He's a plastics recycling engineer, which sounds fancy, but it's real simple. See, Dow figures out ways to recycle plastics like this and turn it into neat stuff like those picnic tables and perhaps bat and ball. My dad may be a lousy ball player, but he's a great guy. I'm real proud of you, Dad.
Proud of me?
Dow lets you do great things.
You know, when you got it right, you got it right. Whether you're talking about this, or whether you're talking about the one and only Diet Cola that does it for Ray, Diet Pepsi. You know, nothing tastes as good to me as Diet Pepsi. All right, now, who's the wise guy? Now, that's the right one, baby.
The first time you show up in your Chevy S10, she might not pay too much attention. But the next time you show up in your Chevy S10, she'll notice you've added a few tricks. And then the next time you show up in your Chevy S10, watch out, because the less you pay for the basic truck, the more you can afford to trick it out.
Wow, now that's a Chevy.
It's Valerie Harper, and she wants the whole world to know.
If anyone wants to listen in on my phone calls, I will be using my private line.
City premieres Monday after Major Dad.
You couldn't feel happier for anybody in this locker room than Jim Burt. Turned loose by a team they didn't think he would ever play again after winning a Super Bowl with the New York Giants. And now he is in the San Francisco 49ers locker room with his young son and the Vince Lombardi trophy. Let's go upstairs now to Pat Summerall and John Madden. Pat?
Thanks, Brent. You know, John, you and I have been around this game of pro football a long time. I was just thinking, this might be the best football team I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would think the same thing. You know, you look and you say, 55-10, it was a blowout, and Denver really wasn't an opponent. But when you think that maybe Denver played against the best team that ever played, and you just appreciate a Joe Montana, a Jerry Rice, a Roger Craig, a Tom Rathman, the offensive line, the defense, the pass rush, the coverage. This 49er team has everything, and I don't know that it isn't the best team that's ever been.
One more quick question. You think they can repeat again?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I don't think that right now, as the season ends, the '89 season is over, I don't think that there's a team as good. I don't think there's a team as close. So unless something changes between now and next year, I don't know how the 49ers can be beaten. I don't know why they can't win another one.
Well, John, it's been a great year. Thank you very much. It's really been a pleasure. Back to Brent.
Indeed, it has been a great year. Congratulations, Pat and John. Right now, we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back to New Orleans in just a moment.
Welcome to Lumina Sedan. It has been designed with care for you and yours. With rear doors that open wide, plenty of room for the family to enjoy. And even Scotchgard fabric protector comes standard. The family Lumina Sedan. When it comes to new ideas, nobody's winning like.
Football season's over. Now what are you going to do?
CBS, we're trading our flags for your games.
Our wiggles for your giggles.
Our sidelines for your punchlines.
Monday Night Football is over, but the fun is just beginning. Y'all come on over to the Monday Night Comedies on CBS.
We could always use a few more men around here.
And on this night, the stars really came out again for San Francisco. 55 points, the most ever scored by a team in a Super Bowl. Roger Craig, congratulations. You seem to get better and better. You're really up there with the elite runners now in this league. You're fabulous.
Well, thank you, Brent. It's been an outstanding year for us all. You know, we never got down on ourselves. There's times when they were downgrading our offensive line, saying they're finesse, and they just took upon themselves to make it happen for us. You know, you win ball games up front, and they did an outstanding job.
Well, your buddy Tom Rathman got a couple of TDs. Talk to me about your score here in this Super Bowl.
Well, you know, it's so strange. I thought Danny Stelvin scored, and I was talking to somebody on the sideline. You know, I had my helmet off, cutting my tape off, and they said, we had to go back out. I went back out, and, man, I didn't know that I even tied the touchdowns, you know, as far as the Super Bowl record, and that was unreal. It was a great one to finish the day off with.
Can you make it 3 in a row next year, Roger? I'm putting the heat on.
Three-peat. All right, three-peat. Here we come.
All right. Meanwhile, Roger, we want to go over and check in again with Irv Cross. Irv?
Brent, John Elway just walked in, and just looking at the stats, John, 10 for 26 passing, 108 yards, 2 interceptions. Again, obviously not vintage John Elway.
No, it wasn't. And I didn't play well, and we didn't play well as a team, and we made too many mistakes, and the 49ers played as flawless a football game as you can play. So we're disappointed, but we gave it everything we had.
You're not a guy who makes excuses, and I know that. And John Madden said, John Elway doesn't look like the Elway I know. Is there something wrong with him? Was there anything wrong?
No, there's nothing wrong. I just, wasn't firing real well today and wasn't on target. And then we had some mistakes that killed us and took us out of some drives. And you can't do that against Montana in that offense because they were awesome today.
John, thanks for being with us. You'll be back.
You bet.
Brent.
All right, Irv, thank you very much. And we'll be back in just a moment.